Did you see this? Did you see that? I did. Okay. Oh, we got a few minutes. And Deb, I don't know if you heard me, I'll do my supervisor report after.
Yep.
Okay. And I didn't take one, I just wrote one. Just to give you what's going on at county, what's going on in our budgets. And I don't know what else I got here.
I got old 259 back. So we're gonna put the motion to the next one.
My phone says 6 o'clock.
It is.
So,
My watch says 6 o'clock.
yours says too?
Sarah?
Okay. Okay, so, here you go, Sarah. You managed. Okay. I'm gonna call the meeting to order, but you all rise to say the pledge. Our Father. I'm praying my mind, I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry.
We do that at county, so I'm used to it.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almost Christmas vacation.
Well, we do at county, so, I would like to implement it, but, so, okay. Public discussion. Pete,
I'm sorry?
public,
discussion.
Oh, 12 minutes.
I distracted him, sorry.
that's okay.
Okay,
You're on the clock.
We're timing you, Pete.
all right.
If you're not ready, I'm gonna just make one comment quick. You think that was funny? Today at county, we get these things every month. And you're supposed to sign it. Didn't know what it was. It's saying that you're here. I know I'm here. Throw them in the garbage. There are vouchers to sign for our mileage. I've thrown every one away. The whole board was laughing at me today. Yeah,
Okay.
no one told me.
And if you don't know, you don't know.
Okay, I have three quick items. The first is Memorial Day. Obviously, we talked about the parade and some of the other events that are going to be going on. Step off is at 9:30. I'll ask Deborah to post the flyer here. This flyer is out and about. I anticipate that there should be a good attendance for this one because Oneonta's not having their parade. You may have seen that in the paper. And there are other places that they're kind of scaling back their parades. But our parade is actually going to be bigger than previous years. We do have confirmation of some active duty military guys coming by, so we're going to roll that on in with the school, so the school can actually, school kids can actually talk to some recruiters and things like that. So it should be a good event. Columbus Public House doing the barbecue and Chobani yogurt, and Curtis Lumber is doing free lemonade and water down at the Milford Academy Terraces. DAR is going to be passing out flags, and obviously the auxiliary is going to be doing their poppy thing that they do. And yes, and for those who are either inclined to go for hot dogs and hamburgers, there is a free lunch over here at the Legion, which is a great option as well. And Jeff Keller is going to be singing, and Tony Canuel should be singing as well. Okay. And Master of Ceremonies is Woody Edwards, so that should be pretty much fun. Otsego School of Dance is all psyched up and ready to do their thing again. So the parade and the ceremony should be a good event. That's the 27th. Then on the 5th of June, from 6 until, it's listed from 6 until 9, but it'll probably be over by a little after 8, is a CPR and AED training. It's not the full-blown thing that you would need for recertification if you are a first responder, but it is enough to get you an American Heart Association card, so that the kids that need babysitting certification and Little League coaches and things like that could definitely use that card. So I'm hoping to have a good attendance at that.
What's
Again,
the
this,
date of that again, please?
it is the 5th of June, Wednesday. It's taught by Rich Nauer out of Utica, down at the Giovanni Center from 6 until probably 8:30. It's blocked off until 9 o'clock.
Do coaches know about that? Do you know?
I passed it on to the high school. I'm going to pass it on to Trusted as well. I think that that's probably a good thing for it. Won't meet the standards probably for an interscholastic coach,
No,
but it will for the Little League coaches.
Little League coaches, right, right.
And you should popcorn football, well, Pee Wee football. Do they still have that? I think
I
they
don't
do.
know.
I will give both of those to Deborah,
Okay.
and they're going to be out on Facebook and the village Facebook, and also on mine as well. And hopefully we'll also get some press coverage on that. The third item is, and I know I'm taking time, the third item is the Mammo van coming back up. We had tentatively set for the 23rd of May, but I don't have a firm date on that because Guthrie, you may have heard on the news, has lost a lot of their scheduling capabilities, so they don't know exactly when they're going to be up here at this point. I'm in contact with them daily. Did not hear one way or the other today, but as soon as I do, we'll lock in a date for the Mammo van, and that will be back.
He wants to use the back of our parking lot
Yeah,
again.
fine.
Okay.
That worked
And
out
you're
very well.
thinking 23rd?
Well, I think it's going to get too late for the 23rd.
Okay,
In
so
fact,
it
we
might
don't
go
have
into
the
June?
information.
Okay.
tomorrow.
So maybe June. Okay.
So it may be for the 30th.
Okay.
I'm not crazy about the 30th because a lot of times people will take that entire week off.
Week off, you have to go
Yeah.
away.
So,
Okay.
and Mary Ellen, do you want to say anything about? You saw that Mary Ellen personally did the digging.
We ran out of volunteers on Earth Day, so it's like after committing, I was like, all right, I'll go down there and dig. There's 2 more plants that need to just go in still, but for the most part, it's done. And thank you for watching.
Yes, looks very nice. Thank you.
Thank you for doing that, Mary Ellen.
Yeah, it's fun. It was a beautiful day that day.
And we anticipate that sometime in June, whether it be the 3rd or later that week, we'll finish up down at the trailer park with the Girl Scouts, and the Boy Scouts are going to be doing the paying of the fire hydrants. I just haven't got a confirmation with obviously there's some adjustments to the Boy Scouts right now, so we don't have a timeline on that one.
Okay.
And the other items are a little bit premature at this point.
Okay.
Can I just ask a quick question, not related to anything you said? I
Okay.
just needed to follow up with you for the brackets for Southtown for the flags.
Yes,
We
we
got 16 hung up, but we've got a lot of broken brackets.
we have the brackets. We have a few brackets complete sets, and we have the rods, and we have a whole bunch of pins.
I think they wanted to try to get them done this week if the weather holds out. The chief he hung all 16 of those, him
Okay.
and I did.
Okay.
But-
Yeah.
because
We'll
we didn't end up
get
with a
them. We'll
bucket
get them
truck.
to you either tomorrow or Wednesday. As you saw, we're up on the north end of town right now. We're doing North Main, and Cushman, I believe, is done. And there may be 1 or 2 other side streets that are done, but we're going to do South Main tomorrow, and the rest of Genesee. So
Okay, yeah, I just wanted
within the next 48 hours.
Okay, yeah,
We'll just bring on
because I
that.
know we wanted to finish them and we kind of ran out of the brackets to make sure we had everything.
And please, I did pass Kevin the info on the CPR training.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's a CPR instructor, so I think he does like our
Okay.
area, so,
Okay.
but yeah, thank you. Yeah, he was straight on.
Okay. No?
Just hanging out.
Okay, okay. Any other public comment? No? Okay, moving on. Approval of the monthly minutes. I need a motion for April 8th, 2024 minutes.
I'll make a motion.
April?
Second.
John? Any discussion? Right? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next is acceptance of the monthly reports. I need a motion. Sarah? Roy? All in favor? Aye. Okay. And like I said, we had a change in schedule. We're gonna start with the South Mifflin Water, so Matt can go home because he gets up. Probably not before you, John, but.
But I do.
So if you wanna get your South Mifflin Water thing first.
Oh, We have had a leak, down there this past weekend. He texted me and told me it was up almost double. And usually it's the campground on the backside of the river that's giving us problems. So I did go over there and he did speak to me, Tim, the owner, said that, he had an elbow leaking and he discovered it that morning. And I said, did it just happen or? And he said he wasn't really sure. I'm not sure if that's a leak, but we have New York Rural Water coming tomorrow to help me out. I borrowed the village's listening devices, went out this morning, but they're kind of limited.
Okay.
The company has correlators and stuff, they can really narrow down what might be leaking.
How much you lose a day?
Well, it was double, it was 20, we were around 20,000, 22,000, and it was up to 49. So when I started documenting like, back in September, his meter reading. And, from September to May, he used 128,295 gallons, but what I was really concerned with was January this year till present day today was 117,648 gallons. And this is his off season, specifically like.
Just since from now, January to now,
January to
was
now,
how many gallons?
117,648.8.
You think you really?
So,
And we're on no reads right now.
right, and I can manually physically read that when I just go in a building and read it. So, but I had a problem back in January where I knew water was going up and that was the first place I went and I just happened to be going there and he was going to work and he flagged me down and told me he had a leak. And he had lost a lot of water then as well. So it's kind of a progressing thing. So I plan on checking tomorrow, the next day, see, he claims that he fixed everything out back, which is where the problems were originally.
This is the same place that said the garbage man or something.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And that wasn't so.
Correct.
And he fixed that problem, correct? He was supposed to,
He was supposed to.
'Cause
So
you
that
were-
was at the end of the season and then he was closing down. He wasn't doing any digging during the winter time. And he did do a little bit just to fix, I guess, so he could run his house, because it runs somewhere.
because I thought you had to shut it off.
I did. And I kind of gave him a warning, but I don't know where I stand as far as shutting it off or making him pay or what, because it's an ongoing thing and I really hate to babysit.
We can't lose this kind of water. That's a lot of gallons. I don't even-
Well, if he's got a leak and we shut it off, he's supposed to fix it before we turn it back on.
Okay, I can do that if he's, I mean, he claims he has it fixed right now, but there's only a couple campers in there now, but I'm not sure how many hookups there are, but there's a lot. But I do know in the couple of years he's been there, he's used like almost 1 million gallons. So, I mean, I don't, you can't just run water in the ground.
The thing on it is, he gets away with it because we don't do any meters. They don't put a meter.
But I don't, not that I want to accuse him of anything, but I've had problems with him, so I want to kind of monitor the next few days and take pictures and see if if it's been compromised, if the meter is working. Because I was tapping on the head and it was moving every time I tapped it. And I shut it off and turned it on to see if it would, it wouldn't do anything, so.
So you don't know if he's.
I don't know
tampering with
yet, yeah, but there are some camps in the back, and that's where the water leaks were, but it wasn't moving when I was there.
it. But so Rule will be able to tell you if you have leaks,
They're coming for me just for the town,
Okay.
not for him.
not for him, but you are gonna check that place out.
I
with
will
him.
check it tomorrow, yeah.
Okay,
They can only do, he had them come as well one other time, I guess, and do some locating, I guess, so I wasn't involved in any of that.
okay.
But I just think it's, every time something happens, that's where it's coming from. And it's like nothing, you know.
Right, so we gotta start cracking down.
And I told him, I said, I'll work with you however I can. I mean, he doesn't, he has a lot of money and stuff, you
Right.
know, and I don't wanna be, but at the same time, I mean, I have,
And we can physically read his meter, so
Yeah.
you could read it monthly.
I can, yeah, I can read it every
So
day.
we could charge him by a monthly, like, read it
Mhm.
and do a read every 3 months.
Yep.
And maybe we should tell him we're gonna start reading your meter, and you're gonna be started and charged accordingly. Can we do that?
But also because he is a campground and he has a leak, we can shut him, but then we have to report it to the Department of Health because he is a drinking water business.
Facility?
Mhm.
So you have the ability to shut it, contact Department of Health, let them know he has no drinking water. So
Then we
they,
would have to provide him.
yep, so they put his permit on hold. And then he needs to leave the leak uncovered for you to visually see that it is fixed. And if he covers it, he's gotta uncover it. So
And-
that you can see that it's an uninterrupted, constant line. A little bit different with the campground because obviously as they're adding,
But that's the problem, and I told him that when I talked to him about fixing it, is I wanna see it all, you have to pressurize it, pressure check everything, and have water going to it, so that if you have any fittings there leaking, you can see it, but he claimed he. So, I
Well,
kinda,
tell him he's gonna be shut down and you're gonna call the health department
okay,
until he can prove that we have no more leaks.
okay.
And you're gonna start manually reading and he will start paying for water.
Then I don't wanna, like I say, I'm trying to work with him, but.
Right.
Every time it seems like I get.
And I would think being,
lumps.
I'm sure he wants to be open by Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah, sooner, there's camps coming in there.
So I'm sure he's gonna wanna get on it
Mhm.
right away.
Okay, I'll address that tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Deb. I didn't know that he could contact the health department on
I'll
that.
remind him about the health department, like, story a little.
Say,
Yeah.
say I have to,
That'll wake them up right
Yeah.
I mean, what if you give them a 48-hour warning for the health department?
yeah,
Yeah, I
Have
can
it
do
fixed
that.
within 48 hours or else you have to contact the health department.
and tell him he's gotta leave everything uncovered so you
Yeah.
can inspect it.
I told him that. but-
And if it's not left uncovered, you will contact the health department.
I'll do
Okay.
that. The lead survey that's coming up, we have to get started on that as well. That has to be in by October 13th.
Yeah,
Um,
and you had, how many was it, 40 done? 39,
No, I think we have over 50 done.
50 done?
What is, I see that in the news thing, Shenango County's doing the lead walk? No, Lisa, what's that for?
It's the federal thing, you have, everybody
Right.
has that has
So they're not gonna do it-
municipal
We're not
water.
doing it from down here, we're doing our own.
No, every everybody that pays for water, you have to check all the water pipes
lead.
by October
Right, I know that.
for lead.
Yeah.
And I will tell you another, I don't know if someone told me or told you, Deb, they sent it out in their bill. You were gonna make a thing, if they can snap the picture with the card that she sends it and sends it to us if they won't let us in.
Right,
And-
not
and-
listen,
and-
but if their schedule is just too complicated, what we can do is when we send out the bill, we can send the card and say you have an option to either choose one of these two dates, time frame, or
Do it.
take the picture with this card next to your lead
Meter.
pipe and email it to this email address by a certain.
Yeah, like where the meter's coming in, we gotta make sure.
What's that?
I think we're gonna
Scrape
be,
the pipe to make sure it's
It's not-
copper.
yeah, I think we're gonna be all right, because I think the first 96 job changed all those lead pipes, but we're not 100% sure, and it has to be done.
And I called Delaware Engineering on that, but I need to call them and follow up because they were gonna look through everything.
Yeah.
They're the ones with the project, so.
And I think you're the one that told me we can write on the bill, if you do not allow us to come in and get it and check it, and you do not supply us with the information, we can take the last highest 3 years of your water bills, the highest, and that's what you'll get billed from now on.
So they let us, that's
Yeah.
what they suggest we do.
So,
Kind of course.
and so we can get these heads on too, because they all got to get new heads.
Mhm.
And no one responds. So we gotta start cracking down, and we might have to, if we don't start getting more people to pay, we're gonna have to start doing shut off notices like we did years ago. Because,
One other thing, at least with the village, we were contacted by an independent engineering firm that is paid for, contracted for through the state to work with us to help compile all that information and be prepared for the public meetings and things like that between now and October 16.
well,
I'm
we had
surprised
a
you-
guy come, right? And
That was just New York Rural Water, yeah, this is something
We didn't
different.
get that, man.
No, we didn't.
We didn't.
I see how we rate.
Yeah. we
Yeah,
didn't.
this is not New York Rural Water. This is an independent engineering firm that has been in contact with us. We've already had our first Zoom session with them.
Huh.
And we provided a lot of the cells of the Excel spreadsheet to them already. So they're compiling it and going to be forwarding it on to the state
Huh.
on our behalf. So it's worth it to find out if in fact there's someone there that can help you navigate the
Can you
bureaucracy.
email us that contact? Thanks, Pete. Okay,
Hazardous Waste Day for Shenango County is in August, they didn't have an exact date, but.
well, you got a month now, at least.
Yeah.
You got a time
So,
frame.
I can bring.
The
whatever
chemical
we
over
have
there.
over, yeah, dispose of it. There's the fitting at the bottom of the third filter is leaking, it's been leaking, it's not a massive leak, but it leaks a little better. So, and the manway on that as well is leaking through the gasket. I tried tightening it down, but I got it as tight as I dare.
This is in the pump house room?
Yes, the filter.
Okay.
Sand filter. But I recommend sometime we change, they're galvanized, all three at the bottom, the tops were changed a few years ago.
We changed the
The
bottom.
bottoms will need to be changed, probably brass, 2-inch. But probably a little costly, but
Change them all, same time, right?
yes, sir,
Okay, are you gonna get us prices on that?
I can, yes.
Okay, and then, I mean, do you think that'll be over what you spend, Roy, or you can approve that?
I think we've got probably several things down the road we're gonna look at that
Change it,
need some work done on.
okay.
So we're gonna have to look for, probably gonna have to look for some money. But, yeah, I think everything costs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's what, now, is that including with the guy that's coming to give the estimate on,
No.
this is totally something
This is
else?
something I can do myself. Or I can have
Oh,
someone-
okay, you just gotta get the
Oh,
materials.
you said to get the-
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Shut the filter down.
Do you think those brass pipes will be more than $1,000?
It's like a 2-inch pipe by 4-inch, close enough, what they call it, kind of, threaded, I don't know what. Should have been out of being for a while.
So he can approve all that,
Right,
okay?
Triborough in Norwich probably. have it.
Okay, so you can get
call
them,
them, yeah.
okay. So I'm saying we make a motion to get that started, okay?
And the gasket, I don't know, because we can't change that until we get sand-proof filters.
And do we have any of that sand in the,
There is, but maybe 10 bags.
and how many? And when you say filters, you're not talking about the big blue tanks.
Mhm.
That's what's leaking, in the pump house,
Yes,
not the chemical.
correct.
those great big blue things.
Yes.
Gotta use colors with me, Matt, because I gotta
Big blue
understand.
thing.
And you can change that.
Yes, I can do that.
And then we have to add sand to that, or the
You should-
medium.
No, the man way you would, where
Okay,
you climb up in, that one's leaking, I tried tightening them, but it's as far as I dare go.
now are these on the top or the bottom of them?
Though the
The
pipes are on bottom, that
Okay.
need to be replaced, but the filter gasket for the manholes is the one that's leaking as well.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So you're gonna get prices of them and tell them all to,
You think you can get those to Trevor or somebody?
I think so. Blake might have them right now. Oh, Blake as well, yeah. And then that also, we had, Shannon Waters from Cyclops come last week. This is for the pump you may be thinking of, the chemical feed pump.
the little black ones on the
Yes,
wall.
yeah.
Okay,
So the fittings that they go into have all been leaking.
Yes, and we know we need to
Yeah,
replace
So
that.
he's gonna give us an estimate as well. He was gonna try and get one sent tonight, but.
he hasn't got it, okay. So that's for those two, pumps, the Prognator pump, the chlorine pump and all that.
Yep.
Because I knew that they just get eaten up
Yes.
from the chemical.
Yeah.
So we need all those.
Yeah, new line and then fittings. He's gonna make, they call it a skid, but it also gets rid of the gas, the chlorine gas in the building,
Okay.
and everything will be where you can shut it off, change to another pump, and
And
Work on the
keep,
other
keep
pump.
working while you're
Correct.
doing the other one. Okay. All right. So, and you don't know if that will be over 1,000.
I don't,
I would think,
I would
think it
think.
It's gonna
but
be,
the other thing, that new line we need into the other room,
pump room.
that, what we got, they recommend it's be changed once a year. But I don't know how long it's been there, but anyway,
I can say 10
Over
years.
but they got one that they don't recommend changing it for 10 years, but it costs a lot more, but it lasts a lot longer. So if it lasts 10 times longer, it's probably well worth it.
You're
So
recommending to
that's-
get that.
Right, and that's gonna be in that quote.
Okay. All right, so how do we make a motion to go forward so you can get this stuff done?
I have one more thing to add. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This might.
So we can all add it as
This might
one
cost
motion.
as well, right?
Oh, it all costs, it all costs.
The fire hydrants, so I might have to shut two of them down until the company comes. I was gonna get parts, but that's gonna be costly to get everything, because until they tear it apart, pull everything up.
They don't know.
Right, so I don't wanna order everything, so when the company comes, they'll help do it, and then
Okay.
just show and replace what needs to be done.
Okay,
But I have to coordinate with them when to do it.
so we gotta fix two. That's,
Yes.
you gotta do that.
But one of them, where you shut it off, is in a sidewalk, and the casing for it is kind of lopsided, so you can't get the wrench on it, so the sidewalk would have to be dug up and everything else in order just to shut it off.
So we're gonna have to replace
You have
concrete.
to rip it up, and yeah, and then you have to replace it.
Now, is that something that we can fix ourselves, or is that something we gotta hire out to fix the sidewalk?
I think we could do it.
Okay.
You're only talking about replacing one section.
A section, yeah.
Okay, so it's not something we gotta get a bid on,
As
or,
long as it's
It's
on
not
the
like
break,
30
yeah.
yards sidewalk.
Okay,
It's one
okay.
block.
okay. So, Roy,
I mean, we don't know the amount, that's the thing
Yeah,
that I kind of stall on. I like to approve stuff, but I don't like to do it until I know what I'm approving. But we do need to go ahead on this and get this stuff.
we have to get it before it
Yeah,
causes a
I was
problem.
scared before, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't like, I don't have parts to.
Okay,
So I don't know, we want a motion and say that we go ahead and do it and then move up, pending whatever the amount is. I don't know, I got no idea what the amount might be. Bill, that skid, he's, talking about skid is where the pumps and pipes is mounted on the wall.
well, yeah,
He did say he could use the board we've got there.
so we don't have
And
to
then
replace it.
all that, so he doesn't have to start from scratch. But, there again, I just don't know dollar-wise what we're talking about. But it's all stuff that we need to do,
It has to be done.
so.
I'm sorry. He just texted me and said, he could give me a verbal number. for
Okay,
Shannon Waters.
and this is for the skid.
The skid, yes. I'm gonna show you pictures.
I'm writing skid. It needs to be skid.
Most of the other jobs, Wendy, are under 1,000, so you don't really even need a motion.
Okay.
But what about the few that he thinks there's what, at least two?
The
that you
skid
think
is
might be
probably, the skid and the fire
The
hydrant.
fire
Give them
hydrants,
a good price right now. I think.
so you make the motion to do both of those.
Okay. And Roy, you can just approve the little stuff that he needs. Yeah, each time.
No arbitrary splitting of POs either.
Well, it's different jobs. Is he giving us or is he
I'm
calling?
sorry, yeah, I'm waiting.
Okay,
You can have.
You want me to-
Keep the world
You
running.
want me to tell you, we move on?
okay, so is that
Yeah, I think so.
it? Okay. Well, we got more. We got a generator quotes.
Oh,
We got a
well,
lot
yeah, I
going
know,
on. Okay.
I don't
But
know.
from what I know, I don't think we've had any complaints on brown water, and you're doing a great job, Matt.
Thank you. We're just backwashing once a week, so.
And then I just want to,
Well,
a fire hydrants from 3,000 to 6,000. I
Yeah,
knew,
a new price, yeah.
I knew they were very
We're talking
expensive.
about
Last one cost us
The
5,000.
guts,
Yeah,
we're
that
coming out
doesn't-
with the
no.
guts.
And that doesn't match any of the
We're all
ones we
saying
have.
this, yeah, They gave me a price for the guts and they were like.
Yeah, so
6,000,
6,000.
something like that.
So it is, listen, that we gotta get.
And then you have to hire someone to dig it up, put it in.
Yeah, we have to do it. I mean, it's, you just gotta do it. That's safety
But I
hazard,
might have to shut them down until,
right?
because they are leaking.
These two,
Yeah. I
okay.
don't know how much, you can't measure where it's going to the ground, really.
So we really need to make a motion to get, because you can't shut fire hydrants down.
Well,
What if
you
somebody's
can.
house catches on fire?
They're supposed to be like every 500 feet apart, but where this one is at the end of, it's going out 23 at the top of the hill toward Norwood.
Okay,
And there's one just below it, but I mean, we shut them down before.
okay,
I would make sure you got the fire department know
Oh,
they're
yeah, I
not
would
in
let-
service.
Yeah, you wanna know what-
okay, so you'll you'll
I would take
contact
that,
the fire,
yes.
okay,
With not a service flag on it.
yeah, and then let's work on get us prices. And, Roy will handle the rest if you get it.
Yeah.
Listen, if you, we'll let you go home, but if you
No,
get
I
it,
know.
well, I know you wanted to go first, so you could go home, but you can text to Brandon or text it to me
Okay.
if he gives you a quote,
Okay.
okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, Matt, there's one other thing. I can't use my words, I'm so sorry. Flushing the hydrants.
Mhm. Well, it could be next week. It'd be nice to do it on a rainy day. That way I'm not taking time away from Brandon.
I can't remember how many days' notice we gotta give. We put up the signs all over in the public places, and do
A
we,
week. I think a week. would be
A week?
sufficient.
so do you wanna do it next week?
Yeah, I could do it next week.
Do you still have,
rain all week next week.
yeah, that's, I would love, I mean, it stinks that you gotta do it on a rainy day, but we're not mowing,
Right.
not doing dishes. Do you have the signs still?
I have a few, yeah.
Okay, so you can make copies to get them
Yep.
posted? So let's just set a kind of a rough tentative date, and that you can, work on that. Today's the 13th. You want it Monday, Tuesday,
Tuesday sounds good.
the 21st?
Yep.
Flushing hydrants. The 21st, and make sure you let the, fire department, you need to know that. You guys need to know that?
No, you know what needs to be done is I need to know when they're doing stuff.
Yeah, but they did know. You knew last time, right?
That one time, yes.
Yeah,
They haven't done anything since then.
yeah,
Oh,
okay. Because she told us, so
Yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we haven't done
Appreciate
anything
that.
other than, the only thing that we were gonna plan on doing is doing some more spray painting and fixing the
fire hydrants.
Oh, that's awful nice.
That's what we did last year, but we
Yeah.
missed a couple.
I do have one I need to change the bolts on. That I do need to do.
Okay.
That's the one.
And
I
you
do
can,
have the bolts to do. it.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
great.
That's a must.
Okay, so text us that if he gets back to you tonight and then let us know.
Okay.
And Matt, again, thank you very much. NICEAG was down there working on a bunch of lines last week. I don't know if you noticed that or if you were down in the area at that time.
Right across the road from the plant.
Well, they were there today, but they were cutting up a lot of brush and stuff down there. But yeah, I do remember seeing them
There
there.
were 3 or 4.
So
They
because
were-
I never got an alarm on my phone that went off, so we didn't lose power
No, we didn't
again.
lose any power.
Okay,
No.
okay.
They were there today cutting through the path. It was actually grease. Something that wasn't nice.
They trim that power line every year, that's a bad spot through there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
We can post notice on the website under the Acceptable Water page too.
To post it. Okay, you'll do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Matt.
thank you.
So we want motion to go ahead and order this stuff when it comes, when we get a price.
Yeah,
But
how about we make the motion that you will notify us, that we know we gotta do it, you'll notify us and we'll send it out to the board. I know we're not supposed to pull the board, but we don't have the quotes and we know we gotta do it. So is that okay with everybody?
Is that for the repairs by Shannon or?
That'll be for the skid, the big stuff and the fire hydrants.
Okay.
The other stuff is gonna be little that Roy can approve,
Right.
okay?
Well, for the fire hydrants, you could say like up to 6,000 for it, if you're expecting the parts to be about 3 each,
3 to 6
3 to 6.
each.
I have quotes for those that I got, but I'm not sure exactly what we would use. So they were gonna come and he said, let me tell you a better way to do it. And we have all the parts on the truck and the guy.
Okay, so tell me what those quotes are.
And that's if you had to replace everything inside it, right?
Yes, these are if we had to replace.
Replace the
everything.
whole
So that's a maximum.
Okay, so we'll make a motion on that.
Hang on a second, sorry. I apologize, I'm a little slow here.
No, that's fine.
what he was talking about, that other stuff, 'cause he said he could use the pumps we had. Or maybe 3.
We still got an extra one, but we gotta get the big stuff
Yeah.
done first.
Hang on a second here.
Glasses.
You want my glasses,
I
Matt?
might need them.
Here, they might be spotty up, but they might be a little spotty. They're really spotty.
Thank you.
Okay, while he's doing that, I'm just gonna jump forward with something else with the water. Tim, the water service guy, came twice last year. And we had mailed him a check and never got cashed or deposited. He doesn't know if he even received it. So Joan issued, it's not on our vouchers because it was already cleared from the bank, already taken out last year. She cut him a new check. I emailed him, or I actually called him and left him a message, told him we were gonna work on it. And we still owe him for one of those pumps that we have and for some inside stuff. I can't remember what he told me, but Matt probably would know. And he's supposed to send me the invoices for those. But we did cut the $950 check that we had sent last year, a new check. So I just want you to know that if you look through the vouchers, you'll see that. And that was to Water Services, Tim, that came up, the specialist that got us back up online. All right, and then I think that's it. We'll wait for him to get us some quotes.
This one was just $356. That was just for the basic repair parts for the bottom of the hydrant, which is not I lost it. I'm sorry.
We need to get you a laptop.
No, thank you. I don't need it.
So it's a
That's
little
a-
bigger, maybe an iPod.
Flange repair kit is all it is, 5/4 repair
And that's
kit.
$356?
That was $356, but that wasn't for everything.
Okay,
That was the basic oil.
so how do you want to word that motion, Sarah? As if we have to buy a brand new one.
Call it 12 grand then. Do you might be up to 6 each, and we got 2 to do.
I'm hoping it's gonna be like 3, but she just Googled it. I've looked at these before. I couldn't believe how much they are.
You just make a motion to repair the hydrants as an emergency for, as
Yeah,
whatever it's gonna
Okay.
cost.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
yep, thank you. All right, you wanna make that, Sarah, or Roy?
You wanna make it all
I'll
second?
make it.
Okay,
Second.
so Roy's making the motion to repair,
Emergency repair.
emergency repair the 2 fire hydrants
Up to cost.
up to the cost of estimate. Or repair, actually, it won't be an estimate, it'll be a repair. Okay,
I'll second. Roy.
okay. All in favor? Aye. All right, now on the skid, if he gets back to us, but if you want to go home and text us it,
No, I would.
okay. Okay, all right, thank you,
Thank you.
Matt. And you're gonna, put the signs out?
Yes.
She'll put it on the website, okay. All right, highway, next. Matt, just one other thing, as discouraging as it sounds, we've come a long way.
Mhm.
So let's like rejoice in the good parts we've got done, okay? All right,
Ready to rock?
ready to rock.
Okay. On the 2nd of April, we had our last 200 ton of salt delivered. Putting us in good position moving forward for next year. Just a lot of truck stuff as far as plow equipment, changing of blades, getting ready for the, following season. On 4/8, we took ownership of our Alamo grass king that we bought with our CHIPS money. And the Case tractor is back down in Binghamton. After we had the accident last year, we had to do some repair work to it. We had a clamp come loose in the roof, and it saturated the entire headliner of the tractor. And it's kind of a mess, but that's all covered under them. That's equipment failure, so no cost to us.
Still there.
Yeah, it's still there. Should be getting it back. I talked to the guy Friday. He was anticipating Friday, but with the weather and the way things were going, they're thinking tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest. We cut some trees at Millbrook, put 4 loads of beach sand down. Our brooming is complete now. The broom is very quick. Moving forward, that should move us really fast along. As we do our brooming, and then we fill our potholes, and then we get to our shoulder work with the cold patch. So the minimal time that it takes gets us that farther ahead on the road work.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a really good addition for us. We've cleaned up from some winter damage. Brooming is part of that, and
Yeah.
getting some trees taken care of and erosion from the ditches that made its way through this light winter that we had, but it was still quite a bit of damage. We've done a lot of ditching so far this year. This, from what I've seen, after traveling our roads, we lack a lot in our drainage around town, and that's kind of a key factor in what we're gonna do this summer, is a lot of drainage work. So, if our drainage isn't any good, our roads aren't gonna be sustainable. So
Right.
that's the first step in making a good road, is our drainage.
And especially with all the rain that we
Yeah.
had.
And the way the rain is lately, it's changed the way the water flows.
Yeah,
I mean, it's funny to say, but it's changed a lot. for
Yeah.
us. Soup Coat came and reduced our patch pile. When Dan made it last year, the oil that they mix in with this, so it comes, you use a pug mill, which is a unit that comes, you add stone and pea sand, and inject it with oil. It runs through a conveyor and it tumbles itself and it spits out a finished product. Well, the oil that was in that product last year literally ran out of it. So it was really, really bad.
Didn't stick to it.
Yeah, it was a waste of money in my opinion, but.
was it bad product or was it a different vendor that we used?
Yeah, we use Vestal Asphalt for that. That's who Dan always used. And
Mhm.
I had Soup Coat come and we just got done filling our potholes and that stuff is night and day better.
Okay,
We added 6 gallons of oil per ton.
and it made it so we can reuse it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, and if we didn't, that patch pile would have been garbage void, so.
Okay.
Paul Button started back on 4/29 for a second season. Happy to have him back. He's a great asset to us.
Yes.
And he also offered an added day until we hire someone full-time, if that's something you guys want to do. Means that we are shorthanded.
Okay.
And picnic tables and porta johns were put out on the 29th at Millbrook. Ricky Smith came and filled them, and Matt Teller also pumped the septic, so, for the opener in a little while, we should be sitting pretty good.
Okay.
Millbrook water samples were sent out for the campground on May 17th. I haven't heard anything back from them yet. There was a nitrate and bacterial
Okay.
sample. And attached to this, I have a copy of the estimate from the Warder Hill job for Sahara Locals Home. I told you guys about their last board meeting. I reached out to Chad Montgomery and Matt Teller. Matt has not reached back out to me as far as
An estimate?
an estimate. So this is the only one I have, other than about the two most local guys that I know to do this job. So I don't know if you guys want
The,
Can
what
somebody,
can, no, go ahead.
I don't know what a berm is.
to. So he's going to make a berm. So
What is a berm?
It's,
It's just like what's down there in
like a
the
hill
field
versus water.
across from Williams.
Okay,
That's a berm.
okay,
It's just a build-up, just to stop.
okay, okay,
Yeah, exactly. It's an erosion kind of thing.
Like a baby hill.
okay.
What is
It's like a baby.
C and M gonna do that we can't do?
So we don't have the equipment to get down in her lawn. Everything we have is way too big.
So too heavy to.
Yeah, we're gonna
More
cause,
than you're saying.
the only thing we have is a great all. I don't dare venture down in there. And
I don't know where it is, so.
Yeah,
It
so-
Must be down the old.
yeah, and
Off the road quite a bit.
yeah, quite a bit. And this
Like her
ditch,
house sits down in like the road, it's like going up Warner Hill and she sits down
Okay.
from the bank, like it runs right into.
and there's a ditch there that needs to be cleaned where one of our crossover pipes comes. We can only get out as far as the arm extends on the grade all. So that whole thing needs to be cleaned and get it tracking in the right direction. And then obviously where they're gonna build that berm, hopefully nothing will come back onto her lawn again. And it'll just trickle its way out into that neighboring field, which is fine. Matt Teller's done this in the past for them, so I don't know if you guys have any record of that or not. I don't, I won't. But that's something that needs to definitely be done moving forward.
Must be they do a good job first then, right?
What's that?
Well, I think you don't understand how much rain comes off of that
Oh,
hill.
yeah.
Well,
When it
because the road over time, it needs to be redone after a while.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we about lost that road last year, so it was a very significant amount of rain. we
right,
had.
that came.
And it just destroyed everything. So that's the missing piece of the puzzle. We have everything else repaired. Other
Except
than that,
that.
except
Other than
for
that
her
part.
lawn. And she was very polite.
That's what I was wondering, why we are not doing this ourselves
Yeah,
too, but we don't have the small
equipment.
equipment.
Oh, this is about a highway, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we use this on, because it's not a road, we can't use it for chips, but it's under the permanent, is this considered a road or it's just a ditch?
It's part of our,
Like, I don't really know how those all work.
so I don't know exactly how that would work. That's far
It's
enough,
not part of the road.
it's not
That's
part of
part of
our,
According to what I heard in training, it's not part of the road.
Okay.
because our eminent domain is 24 foot 9 inches, 3 rods is what that is called.
Okay.
So if you ever hear anyone say 3
Yeah.
rods, 24 foot 9 inches is our right of way. So we have to maintain up to that point, and anything after that is on the landowner.
That's from the center line, right?
Yes, from the center line.
Permanent improvement for chips is blacktop, stone and oil.
Yeah,
That's considered a permanent improvement as far as
Alright,
chips is,
so-
so that
I'll make a
is.
motion to have C and M for 3150.
Okay, I need a
before we do that, I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, no, sorry.
Do we have to pay prevailing wage for that, being we're a municipality? Because that will change the estimate a little bit.
If he's not
to
gonna
pay
charge
prevailing.
for that, you don't have to.
Right.
Is he a one man? Is he an independent?
Yes. I
If
think
he
he's
has
an
no
LLC.
employees,
LLC.
He-
He has employees.
if he's doing it on his own without employees, we don't have to pay prevailing wage. If
It's
he's
two of them
using-
that own that company, right? Two sole proprietors or like their partners?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Jackson.
LLC to be over.
Um,
An LLC. Yeah, but it's an LLC partnership, so it's
Okay.
50/50 ownership.
Yeah, I don't know how that all works.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is it the two owners that are doing the
I'm pretty
job?
sure it's just Chad and Megan.
Okay.
I know
If
Jimmy
it's
has
just
nothing
them
to do
doing it, then no, we don't.
Oh, okay.
If they are hiring somebody to have an employee that is working with them on this job, it needs to go under prevailing wage.
Okay.
Would that be heavy highway?
No, I wouldn't think so. But I
That's
don't,
expensive.
Okay. All right, so I need a second,
I'll second.
Roy. Any more discussion? Are we good? All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Oh, I missed it.
John? John motioned, Roy second.
I also would like to surplus our pull behind broom, and we have a small Alamo mower. Get rid of them. We don't need 3 brooms. So I'd like to liquidate one of those, and we don't need 3 Alamo mowers. Dave bought one for parts, and I think it just sat there. So I'd like to get rid of that as well.
Okay.
I'll make
Motion,
a motion.
John,
Well,
I second.
April?
Sure. Sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Brandon,
Yes.
before you leave, go out to my minivan
Mhm.
and on the passenger seat, everybody's getting stuff out of my car. There's 2 t-shirts for Justin.
Perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
I grabbed them. Sarah was gonna get them, but
I
I,
clocked out for lunch to go pick up the shirts.
Well-
She's like, hey, I picked up shirts this morning. Okay.
well, I had a delivery in Norwich, so I went early and I had a little time before I went to county, so I grabbed them. And, Connie,
His truck broke down.
before you leave, I don't know where they are in my car. Nobody judge me how dirty my car is. There's 2 hanging baskets for Millbrook in there, so don't forget to take those.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for the flags.
Yeah.
I need one out here.
Yeah, it's a nice
Yeah.
addition to the town garage.
Yeah.
Did we hang the one at Millbrook yet? We haven't yet. Oh, you did?
The town
Okay.
garage, you can buy a light first. You're gonna leave it up there, you get that light on.
Yeah, there's a light right there, right there, next to.
Yeah, it's kind of off to the side, but it's more of a, like
Yeah, I know.
a broadcasting
Yeah,
light. It's not a.
Get a solar
Okay.
light and shine on it.
Yeah, we hung it right in the top part of the garage, just the little section between the overhead doors and the roof.
Beautiful.
So-
Thank you for getting
Yeah.
this, 'cause I
I
was
gotta
so
get a
sick.
cheaper one for Millbrook too. 'cause
Okay.
There's not a light on it at Millbrook. either.
Okay.
Get 2 solar
All
lights.
right.
Or you guys gotta
Well,
take
you
a
take it
dab
down,
right
it's
now.
good.
Can it be from the top or does it have to be from the bottom?
I think as long as the light shines, you can shine it from the side,
It
anywhere.
could be from, it could be anywhere. It's not-
Because I can see one from the ground being.
Taken up, yeah, yeah.
You guys have any questions for me?
No, I'll look at that thing and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to hand it out if it needs to be done different. So-
Yeah, that's what, and I don't want to hand it in because I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's another supervisor that said to me today, Wendy, call me with anything. Maybe I'll call him.
I'll see if Kevin will let me have a copy of his, just to
To
see if it's the
see
same
what,
format.
Okay.
There you go.
okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, Matt, shoot.
I sent it to your phone.
Oh, you sent it to mine?
He said I'll just give you the total was 3,800
3,800 for the new skid.
for the new skid and manifold and everything, suction line, everything's on here. So
I got
Okay.
one thing.
All right, I need a motion,
if you want, I sent it to your phone.
okay, to get a new skid. I'll email it,
Okay, I'll make a motion to get that.
2 minute everything. Roy's making the motion. April second it. All in favor?
Forgot one thing.
Yes.
When are we done with the ad in the paper as far as the hiring goes?
So it's filled.
The problem that adding the paper is not in the paper.
Okay.
It was only put in the paper 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
problem.
I thought John was putting it in for 4 weeks and then we were gonna determine after the 4 weeks.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to change the ad and we're
I
gonna.
don't even know if we got any applicants.
I know
The ones
one.
that I have in there are old ones.
Okay. I had one in my mailbox. I have it down at the town garage on file, so I can
Okay. Yeah,
give it
you're
back
not,
to you.
where's my mailbox?
Okay.
And, as far as I know, we haven't gotten any, but we only had that one week,
So we're just kind of,
23rd.
I had someone come in and
Maybe
ask me,
23rd.
but I guess they didn't pick up application yet.
Okay.
Or maybe they haven't returned it.
Alright,
Or maybe
so
they haven't seen it in the paper. 'cause I said
undetermined right
it's
now then?
Huh?
Undetermined for right now?
Undetermined.
Yeah,
Pers- we're-
I
we're-
looked for the end this past weekend, I couldn't find it.
Okay.
Couldn't understand.
The one thing I would say, I know I'm jumping in here, but Brandon and I have talked about this. One of the likely applicants and a strong candidate is currently a member of the village DPW. So I would like to, if in fact he is selected, to be able to delay that a little bit so that we have time to
Putting that in the
put an ad in the
paper.
paper and go through the hiring process ourselves. So I'd like to be able to see if in fact there's any, so we're not all fishing in the same pond. There may be somebody else out there if in fact we have enough time to be able to find somebody so that we're not poaching from each other.
Yeah,
So I would ask that report time not be before the 16th of June, if in fact that individual is chosen.
Well, we're not being in the paper. We'll be. Probably go get.
do you remember how many weeks we used to advertise? Was it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5?
So this, but this time I said 4 weeks.
I thought you texted
Yeah.
that 4 weeks. I want to add it for 4 weeks to get
You got
it
one-
out there
Well, I know we
more
had the
so
old
that,
applicants, but, some of those we said no.
I'm not
so.
sure if I recall it being
I
in
said
the
4 weeks.
motion for 4 weeks.
I don't remember.
I know you said, let's do it longer.
Woke me up.
We discussed it ourselves, that would be 4 weeks. And I said, let's go 4 weeks. And for some reason, I was in there.
Because then you were gonna
the
think in
23rd,
starting in
we put it
June.
23rd and the other one.
You were
Right.
thinking to hire in June.
And we want to get going. Now we're going to get behind.
Well, he said Paul be willing for extra, what?
Extra day, yep.
Well, we'll talk about that under the
32
new
hours a
hire,
week.
under new business. All right.
I have a
Might
question.
have to now, because
Do you have time to get to installing that fence at Millbrook?
Yeah, there was a lot of, so them poles up there,
Mhm.
what did we
The
figure out?
previous poles you think had been cut off at the
They-
ground.
Yeah.
They-
And I want them in the ground a couple, 2 feet anyway.
Easy.
And at that point, those poles are gonna be way too
Yeah,
short
they'll
for
be
the
down
fence.
here.
They're just as long as the fence.
Yeah, they're just, right now, they're just as long as a fence, so we drive them any distance, they're gonna be too
Too
short.
short.
Right. Could we use T-posts instead?
I think by the time you wrap the fence around them, I think that fence is gonna be too heavy for like a T-post, you know what I
Okay.
mean? If I'm thinking of the same one you're
Just,
thinking of,
yeah, just a regular
regular,
pasture,
I think they would be too,
too much. not-
So
I think the
what
fence
are
would
you
be too-
thinking? New post or wood?
I thought 4x4 posts would be,
Treated.
yeah, treated 4x4 posts.
Okay.
6 or 8 of them, I think, is what we come up with. We have it marked out up there.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I
Right,
was kind of coordinating with Connie and that, so
okay,
I just don't think those posts that we have are gonna be sufficient enough,
right,
unfortunately.
right.
And at that point, if we do 4x4 posts, if you guys ever wanted to put like a permanent roof structure on it, you could kind of
use
add
that.
off something like that instead of.
Right.
a
Like a
tarp
little
or
lean-to to protect the fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's what
Do
I
you know
think.
what the going rate is for a 4x4
I
post?
can go to Lowe's or call Lowe's or Curtis Lumber and.
Could you find out and just text me?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll try,
Um,
we'll try to get it off,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
for sure. I mean, it will
it
get
gets
done.
done when it gets done. I
Yeah,
just
it just,
wanna make sure it doesn't fall off your to-do list.
no, it's there.
Thank you.
Okay, please.
Okay, I don't want to keep Brandon here, but he said something in his discussion here, which I've been bringing up since I started here. It's been a problem for this town and everybody, every single day, asking me what I'm gonna do about Stewart Hill. So he said, which I said, we have a 25-foot easement on each, for the center of the road. He said 3 rods, 24.9. Okay, 24.9. The only person right now in this town that can do anything about all that garbage on the side of the road is the town supervisor. That's the way you got it written right now. The police can't. So I want to get rid of all of that stuff. It's a road.
and it's supposed to be 24.9, so he don't have to get rid of it, but he's gonna have to put a line up, and it has to be on the other side of that line. We would clear that road right up,
Where are we
Th-
going?
This is, up past Chase,
Stewart's Hill.
All the way up on the hill where it's
where they,
garbage both sides of the road.
Correct.
yes.
Gotcha.
So that would, right there, we do have that on the books right now, but the only person, and I think the reason being is back when that
Well, I didn't.
legislation was made,
I didn't know.
there wasn't a town police department. There was a village police department, the village doesn't go all the way up that far, it stops halfway up the hill. So but we could clear that whole place out, at least on the other side of the road, so this way, people come up that road, they don't get hit by it. I mean, right now, you couldn't fit, fire truck for sure cannot fit up there.
Yeah, you can hardly fit 2 cars through there.
Right, so if we just followed our own rules, and the rule right there, 24.9, and then maybe
And
change
you're
that.
gonna go tell all that
No,
stuff
no,
out.
that's, no, what I'm saying, we give them the option, all you gotta do is move it back. We'll give you a grace period of 30 days, take all your junk, move it back, so it's 24.9.
Dan would tell them, you don't move it, the motor's gonna move it.
Yeah, well, that's
Push it
what,
across.
well, I could easily fix the problem if you
And he did
need.
at one time.
My whole point is, instead of having Brandon, not the police going up there doing police kind of stuff,
So what is that in our local law book?
it's in our local,
So that we'd have to have it local
Amended.
law, and we'll have to have public hearing, and,
all we're doing is adding the police department to it, and he can stay on if he wants to.
I like that.
Yeah.
So,
Stanley made me disappear.
Yeah.
so that's something I would greatly appreciate we could do, because then it would be one less trouble there. So, hi, everybody.
hi,
If you get rid of that without trouble, you're gonna be more of a magician than anybody else has been.
If you give me the power to do it, it'll get done.
Give me the power.
All you need is
I'm
a change in the
captain
resolution. So, you can review the report, it's,
Yeah.
our monthly reports and what we did here. So, but basically, I want to get right into the remarks.
thanks, guys.
Guys.
You'll see that the live scan is attached to this. This is through iTouch Biometrics. That's the vendor that I went with. It was one of the cheapest ones out of the group. Right now, so we have, for the grant for this particular project, we were given a grant of $28,500. This came out to $27,390, and I managed to get, and I'm still working with them because I'm gonna get one more year out. I got a total of 5 years worth of service where it doesn't cost us anything. Because when you have this live scan, whatever the state's going to anyway, if you look, there's a section down that says, New York law is the second from the last little bullet there. It's the FBI and the New York State software that captures all the bump shots and does all the stuff that enables us to transfer the stuff to the state, to the FBI. That's a user fee, a license fee, we would, $1,980 a year. That's what that is. But we have the first 5 years paid
Paid
for, and I'm gonna try to get one more year out of them. So as I was saying, for this, $27,390, we still have $1,100 left over. So when I sent this quote into the state to see if it complies before we submit it, and then they go, oops, this doesn't work. They already said everything's a go, and I said, I didn't use all my money. They go, we're surprised. They said, did you do any renovations? I said, we did. They said, use that extra $1,100 towards your reservation. So we can use that to the room that we built.
So we can take B&H's bill.
So we can bill them the whole 28.5 for the website, so we can just show that.
And send that, I
Along
can't
with this.
remember what the room actually was, but we can submit that bill with it
Yep.
and get reimbursed. So now, just tell me how this works. So
So
now
this-
we make a motion for you to order this,
So we ordered, yes.
and we pay for it first.
We pay for it first, and the way we're already set up is it's not a check, it goes right into our, I think Deb has access to it too, it goes right into the, what's the word I'm looking for? This system, this state system, it goes right into our account somehow.
Oh, like an EFT.
Yes, that's it.
All right, so
What is
we
that?
have to transfer money out of the police reserve to put, because we don't have enough 28.5 in our budget to, I'm positive we don't, I don't even need to look at my budget. So I'll have to make a resolution. When do you plan on ordering this?
Whenever you say it's okay, but what I wanna do is I wanna work with like one more.
So, well, can I make the resolution to have it ready for the
Yes.
next board meeting
Yes, that's good.
to transfer the money?
Sure. that'll work.
Okay, okay. And then we'll have all the estimates ready, everything ready, the transfer of the money ready to pay them.
Yeah, because I'm trying to work, there's another vendor. I'm gonna tell them if they want to give me extra years. Because I want to get 5 years, so that'd be 6 years.
So you might buy it from a different vendor.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
so then that's what we'll do. So we don't need a motion tonight till you know which vendor you're gonna buy.
Right, but. if in
And
any
then,
event, it
so
should be-
just when you decide which vendor you're gonna buy it from, get a hold of me so I can get the resolution made to transfer the money.
So the resolution will be for 25. That's the.
28.5,
So this
and that'll
way,
be out of police reserve.
yes, so this way we could pay for that. Some of them, at least 1,000. For this particular quote, it would be $1,110 we'd have left over towards the room. So,
And then, April, make yourself a note so I don't forget. When we sit down, and David, both of you, when we sit down to do next year's budget, let's start budgeting some of this yearly fee.
Yeah, I started a little longer.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that, I mean, we don't have to budget the whole thing, we got 6 years, but let's start building in our
So you're
budget.
not waiting to the last.
So we're not
Yes.
pulling it out and
At
like,
least-
oh my God, we forgot about this
and they said
$2,000.
that number doesn't change, that's the number.
Well,
It's
yeah.
by the state. Well,
Federal
that's the number.
government,
Right.
Until they decide it needs to go on.
True.
okay, but this
We would
is
probably
great.
put the budget for a 2-year, so when we do start paying, we already have the next year's. already.
Exactly.
That's, yeah, ahead of time.
Yes.
Ahead of time, absolutely.
So, just so we know that. Okay, the next,
The next thing is,
is the life scan. I need to keep that quote out.
oh, so, and then we spoke about this before, and this is the police records. Currently, they're located upstairs in the main record rooms this morning. That's not the way, the correct way that police departments in general have the records. Police records are normally stored with the security for the police department. The reason being for this is, there's been a few episodes where I didn't have access to, off hours, I don't have access, so it's kind of weird for me to say, hey, you're in charge of the police department, you have access to your home
On
records.
records.
So, or they can stay where they are, just give me a key, but I don't need to be escorted all the time, it's the police records. So, I don't mind staying there, if that's the case. but-
That whole room needs to get organized, because we got court records that are in the back part that, like, no,
No,
they're
we're-
supposed to be separate too.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I reached out as the records management officer.
Mhm.
Any records that the town RMO is in control of now must
That's incorrect.
stay.
I could,
I spoke with Kristen Smith,
I don't care,
today
listen, just listen. to me.
real,
I don't
Okay,
want,
just
wait,
wanted to
both of you,
finish,
let her
please.
finish, let her finish.
okay? I've gotten a few opinions on this, and so I reached out and I said, can we do a resolution that allows the officer in charge of the police department to be RMO for their own? And they said, for what they have in their possession right now forward, if the board would like, they can make them in control of the records from now, whatever he has back there in the, when you first came in, that you brought upstairs and put into the evidence room. Those records you can, from this point forward, have them be in control of. The records that are in the vault,
who is this person you spoke with?
I spoke with Kristen Smith in Committee on Open Government.
Who is that?
Those are the people who handle the New
Is
York
that
State
from
Archives.
Association of Towns?
No, it's Committee on Open Government. They deal with the FOILs, they deal with records management.
Is that New York State Department of Criminal Justice Services or Municipal Police Council? If it's not, it doesn't matter. This is a
Right.
police department,
The
and the
police
records have to be,
department, the
no.
police department is a part of the town, so the records are town records. And I'm not making an argument. What I'm saying is, I was trying to reach out to them because I said, if I in fact am responsible for the records, which by law I am, nobody has access to the records vault if I am not there, because I am responsible for those records.
Not for the police records.
The ones that are in my
Unfortunately-
possession now, yes.
Unfortunately, they never should have been in the possession. It was an error on somebody's part. It's a police department, and I understand that nobody understands it's a police department, but it is a police department. And by law, the police department is supposed to have it. If you go over to the Norwich Police Department, ask them where their records unit is, in the police department. If you go to the Shenango County Sheriff's Department, the records division is in the police department. That's where they're held, because that's where they belong.
Those are higher agencies. These are.
It's the
this
state
is
of
a
New York. It
town
doesn't matter what
agency and they're
higher
town
agency.
records.
Okay.
So
I
I'm
just
done.
looked
I'll let the
simply,
board
I
decide.
asked.
Okay,
Do some
everybody,
research on that.
all right, yeah, let's stop. Because there's no sense of arguing about it.
I'm not arguing.
We
Tell
gotta
you
look,
facts,
we gotta
do
look
what you want.
into it.
Yeah.
But the record room does have to be organized up there. That's a definite.
The records room is organized. I have a map. I am responsible for the
But-
records and I have them all
Well,
organized.
and I've done a little research on it too, and the supervisor's supposed to be on the records management too. Because Ross Iannella was on it, Bob Starr was on it. I've never been put on it, so I have to make a resolution to put on it. So if someone, you're not available, Connie's not available, because Connie's on it, I believe, in the organization meeting. If they're not available, someone's gotta be available, which would be me. So I have to make a resolution because I've looked back in Ross's files, I've looked back in Bob's files. They were all on records management, the supervisor. So I would have access to it. I have to do that. But, and same thing with the court, like if Karen called me and you weren't available or something and she needed something, she would have to be able to get into that room. So that's probably why the supervisor was on it. But I looked in the past packets that Ross has a ton of them in there and Bob has a ton of them in there. And they were all on in the organization meeting. So that we gotta change first. So someone else can get in that office and be responsible, not just Debbie, but somebody else too.
Well,
It is the town clerk and it is this. But in the town clerk law book, there is separate stuff on police. And we got to find that out. And I will go over and ask Ernest Cutting. He's in my safety thing and I will find out. But we're gonna table this for
Well,
now
you'll have to
until
go
we,
to more than just cutting because he is a county sheriff's department. That has a different type of a level. So if you,
but I
the
think
New
a
York
police
State Bar-
department and town stuff, and just like the court is supposed to be separate.
the court, any judge who has left, those records become records of the town, not the new judge. The new judge who is on the seat keeps their records. Once they leave, those records go into the town records.
But that really doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but we'll look into it.
All I'm gonna request from the town board tonight is, whatever you decide, but I'm not gonna be responsible for whatever records I don't have access to. It's the confidentiality, the integrity of individuals' private information up there that I don't have access. And it's kind of astounding that the person in charge of the police department can't have his own records to his own police department, but one person can go up there by themselves without any escort. Makes it
I've
zero
taken
sense.
an oath, and I take a little bit of offense that you're saying that you should have that ability to go in a room by yourself and view records, but there's a problem with me who was taking an oath to view records, and I don't go into those records. If Lisa has to go in, she's asked me a time or two to help her. I've walked up there and I've let her go through the records, but I have to, as the records management officer, I have to
And that is
protect
part of
those
It's
records.
part of the town clerk's job.
And I'm not
Okay.
trying to do that in a bad,
Yeah.
negative way. I was looking to see if there was a legal way we could separate them out. And they said,
All right.
because they are already
There is.
in the custody, that the ones that are here now remain. But that the board can deem to make the ones that he has currently and forward a part of the police department only. So if they even said, if you make him his FOIL officer or whatever officer, FOIL officer for the police records, it would be from this point forward. Anything before this point, they would have to FOIL me.
But I'm sure that we could make copies and move copies and keep originals and move copies and you could have
I have
copies.
no idea what's even up there, so that's why.
So that's why I don't think, because the police department, I'm thinking, what year did it start, Roy? Were you here when it started?
No, it's going from what I got here.
2001, something like that.
2001. So we'll have to see if there's any, from what you've found, there wasn't a lot of record keeping. There wasn't a lot of proper procedures done.
There wasn't, but that's my point is.
Right, so
being-
now we're trying to
just so you
do it right.
understand, Being in charge of the police department, regardless of what anybody says here, the state of New York says, you're in charge of the police department, you don't have access to your records, I'm still responsible.
And
Right.
New York State is telling me I am in
And
charge,
she's
in
responsible.
charge of the town.
You both are responsible, so we'll
I
figure it
reached
out.
out. The only thing I want to say is, when we do these meetings, somebody can come in and just verbally say, he said this, and I read, and this is the way, and it shouldn't be, and we all take that. I did the research today. I called, I spoke with committees on open government. I got her name. I've got exactly what she said it needs to be. I've been to trainings, and nobody will ever. It's like we have to research over me, but we don't have to research over anybody who just says, well, I don't feel this. I did the research, and
Yeah, I don't think we're making any decision right now.
No, we're
tabling
not. We're
things anyhow.
tabling it because it's never been done. We've never had anybody, this initiative in a police department that want to do everything right.
What's my motto?
So do it.
Do it right, don't do it wrong.
No. And I'm not gonna get jammed up for it. So we will.
May 10th, I just started 31 years in police work. I think I know what's in there.
So, as far as the Lowe's and Curtis, yes, that should be all accurate.
Not that I need anything, but I just don't.
Yes, that should be all done. We have one more thing, right? You
Well,
do.
I have one more.
Yeah,
thing,
you
but
do.
Did you want to talk about this one?
Okay, it's fine.
Okay. So I have two things. One is, there is a training for public safety teams. It's scheduled,
So this basically is for veterans. Lisa Parasol is a veteran. She brought it to my attention. She would like to attend this class. It's in Albany County on June 21st. June 21st is the day, just a day course. And it's about how, different topics on crisis. There's really not much of a big topic. We actually talked to the mayor, who's still here now, so we talked to the mayor as well to try to get something incorporated here for an outreach for veterans. We don't have anything here, and she actually wants to volunteer her own time for it. That's because it's really near dear to her heart. So it's something I thought it would be good, because not only that, how many, with mental illnesses and different things going on now, and crisis is sometimes involved
Right,
veterans. I thought we should have someone that, being here, she's here during the daytime, would be a good course for her to have this on how to speak to somebody.
where is that at and when is that?
It's in Albany. It's on June 21st.
June 21st.
At 8 a.m. and there's no fee associated with
Okay, it's a free training.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just have to pay time and mileage? Would she drive from her house right there? Probably be easy for her to get on the freeway.
We're supposed to use cars.
Oh, right, so she'd come here and take the car.
Yeah.
And where'd you say it was, in Albany?
Albany.
Okay. I also, with that, sending her, I will get her the information because Shenango County has just started, we have a department for veterans in needs.
Yeah, that's what Pete was telling her, he's gonna get the name.
Yes, I will get that contact for her at the office and she could, anytime
Yeah, work with
they
them.
can do that. But I agree that is a good training because,
We don't need it, it's a lack of it, and that's,
yeah, and it could be, and they could probably help her out too.
oh, yeah.
Because they talk very highly at county about this agency that they set up. So,
Is that a one-day training?
It's one.
Yeah.
okay. What day of the week was that on?
I don't know what day, June
June
21st is.
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
Ask me how I read it. I'm not going out to lunch that day.
You played that far ahead?
So I need a
Hey, honey,
motion.
I'm a teacher, and I'll never not be a teacher.
Wait, June
I'd like to
21st of this year?
Yes,
Okay, according to that calendar, that's a Friday.
The 21st of, are we talking June or May?
June.
June.
Oh, well, I'm right. It's not a Tuesday.
Oh,
Okay,
It's a Friday.
sorry, it's a
So I
Friday.
make a motion to have her train, or go to this training.
April, second.
Second.
John. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Next, you got something?
Yes,
She's got
so I
something.
have,
But go ahead.
you can go ahead first, go for it.
Please go.
And this is when Rihanna's still
Still
here.
here.
Okay, well,
So we, as you guys know, over the last, since 2021, if you can believe it, we've been working on trying to get some type of a camera system to the village and the town. going back and forth. I've been working with the same company. He came down, he did all kinds of checkpoints, whatever you're supposed to do. So this one's hot off the presses today, and it's gonna provide camera systems to our building here, both inside and out, Millbrook, and then the village is gonna have,
2 at Millbrook, right? 2 or
Three.
3? 3 at
Three
Millbrook.
so an entranceway, one on the beachfront and one on your store. So that this way you're covered up there, which is gonna
Is that in the office or outside of the office?
outside.
Just curious.
Unless you want it inside.
Oh,
It's
Unless you want it inside.
Well,
looking, facing outward and people come in, but
Yep.
it's all, we had it on the building, so if anybody in off hours can try to break in.
Right.
So those are the 3 up there. We'll have, looks like 5 or 6 on this building, then mostly, and then red,
No,
yeah, right on
The
the
fi-
corner
the
there.
corner
flank,
there.
The corner, so we get all that going up and down 8, and that would be ours. And then basically the rest, the village is gonna put some, at a lot of locations. It tends to be about the same amount of cameras for each of us. Town supervisor,
You're doing the park, right?
Hyde Park,
2 in the park, 2 in the up in the corner, 1 down on Railroad, 1 down by Morabido, 1 up by the water tower, and I'm missing 1. I think it was 7 cameras altogether.
I think
8
there's more than
cameras
that.
altogether.
There's, let's see, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or
Yeah, I think it was 8.
8 or 10, I can't remember. what it was.
Okay.
So anyways, the price that came across now with everything, including obviously all the infrastructure of the wiring and this, the camera system will be held here and stored in the back, so it'll be a
Like the big screen will be
big
in the
screen will
police
be all
office.
the, so we can see.
So they
it
can
and the recording
monitor it.
stuff. It's $32,934.99. $32,934.99. So much cheaper than what was here once upon a time. Someone paid almost $45,000 for that last camera system that never actually worked. So
Is that what it was?
$45,000. So
I can't
This-
verify the number, but I can verify it never worked. Waste of money.
what it was he came down, he saw it, he goes, a lot of problems where they put them on places that didn't have any power anymore. So once their line of sight, so once there's no power here, it can't go any farther. So it never comes back to here. That was the problem. But he goes, you actually did have a good system. That was an expensive system. So you actually spent money. It was actually good cameras. But, so
once
you
we powered it.
may have mentioned something?
So if we actually split this down the middle, we're talking about 16,467.50. Actually 49, but rounding up. And that's, I think that's fair and. we
And then I'll tell you this part of it. Today I received an email, so that, my LE Tech grant that I applied for,
That's this.
we received $45,500. So pay for that, pay for our, I'll get your body cameras and tasers, so it should pay for almost everything.
Well, do your body cameras and what you call it
Well,
first.
yeah, but
45 ain't gonna go
No.
far.
It's gonna go,
Okay.
they're not that bad, so at least we'll have something
But
to help us.
I wanna, do you think that the village would go if we split it down the middle? You think you could get it? Pass. Because I think that it helps all the town people.
Exactly, yeah.
It helps all the town people. And now we're covered too. The only places that I wanted to get covered and we can't get covered is our water
So,
thing.
so we could do that in the future. The only thing he told me was because South Moravido, it's such a far away, unless we had another something in between there for a light sign, light.
Right. Stop one second. When are you gonna
Minus-
bring it up to your board?
We have the board meeting, so ours got postponed from tomorrow, because we didn't have a quorum, so we're gonna be Monday.
Okay, so you're gonna bring it up to split it? Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
so
great.
what you could do down there, because the one thing
Thank
about
you.
this system is
Thank you.
if they ever wanted to add on, or we wanted to add on, it's limitless.
We can add at our own leisure.
And for a location like that down there, south in Berlin, he said he could make it happen, but he would have to put some type of, it's like, it's mostly internet then. It goes from internet, and then once it goes to the internet, it'll come down to the first line of sight, and then it goes through, then it'll do the same thing. You would have to install something down there, because that would cost you about $15 a month because that would be the internet.
So that's the only thing, right?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary.
Good night.
Hi, Mary.
See y'all
When
there.
everything gets shut off at Millbrook, how does that work? Is that gonna disrupt the system? Because there won't be no internet, there won't be no power, so up there, how is
Well, we
that
don't
going
shut
to
it
work?
off. Do we call
We do.
NICEC and shut it off?
We
Or we
shut
just
it off with the breaker.
You shut off the light?
Yeah, we shut off
All of
everything.
all
right
the
at
power gets
Shut
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 off,
off at the
everything.
breaker, so nobody can use it.
I'm sure you could put one someplace,
You could put one circuit in.
you know, circuit that's always on and nobody can get to
That's
it.
why that entrance pole always had a solar with a battery pack down below. I don't know if that remnants are still there, but they always had a solar panel and like a backup battery pack attached to the pole, and that's where one of the cameras were.
Where is that?
That was at the entrance of Millbrook.
Like up top at the
Oh, I know
driveway?
which one you're talking about, yep.
That's probably another reason why it didn't work up there. You can't, up by that driveway, he's got a map that does everything and shows you if it's gonna
The
work or
view?
not. It shows, but it puts a line and it comes right back to here.
Well, that's.
He goes, see this big mountain right here? He goes, can't go through it. He had to come all the way down. He's down about just before you're coming in, and then the little turn before you branches off. From there, he can get a straight line down to here, and then the other two just bounce off of that one. So
But we can see what pulls in, what comes out.
yeah, you'll still see it's right there just before, so everybody's got to pass by it.
So I think we could leave the power on to the office because there's not external ports to the office, right?
You got one
There's
outside
one.
receptacle,
One outside.
maybe two.
There's one
But you could
that I
leave,
plug
you could leave
into.
a circuit out in there. And the inside circuit out,
Right, yeah, there's an additional power panel inside.
as long as you just lock the panels on the outside.
Right.
So I think with the village splitting it, I think this is a no-brainer. We need
Yeah.
cameras. Everybody has cameras now. That's why I asked you if you had them at the fire department, if we should try to add one at the fire department.
Yeah, we're covered, our fire department.
It's got-
Oh,
they
no,
got-
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. You know when I come in.
They
it's
got
like that.
cameras.
Because we have to shut it off when
Yeah.
you come in.
Yeah.
So the total quote is 32,934.99. But we would only be paying half of that at 16,467.50.
Most of the town in general though, won't see a lot of benefit, won't have any coverage for that. It's just here. in village.
Just the village, really.
It's the village.
Well, we're gonna have it in highway. We're gonna have it up at that Five Corners where there's always accidents. We're gonna have our town covered, the parking lot covered where we had the incident, the inside of the building, if God forbid,
Yeah,
some
we're gonna
crazy comes in.
Yeah,
3 at Millbrook and the town barn.
the town barn, so we have all those. And then, eventually if we could do something down there.
I would love to have it by our water plant and
Well, what
at
I'm
the
gonna
Four
try to do
Corners
is-
in South Berlin. I would love
Got a
that.
good rapport with the Rapidos, because he said you can talk with them. He might be able to piggyback up for whatever they might have, just to use the power. And he goes, then we can get it up here.
You know, like I say, a good share of the town won't see any, doesn't end up
The
coming.
the biggest and best part of this, this whole thing is the LPRs. Right here at Moravido, it goes in a V like this, there's gonna be LPRs there. So those are license plate readers.
That's what
So
the village is
you
doing.
cannot go southbound, northbound, or on Lake Street without me knowing who you are. Blink here. So if it's anybody, and the way LPRs work is, say somebody in Syracuse needs somebody, they just punch it in, and that license plate will go whoop, and it's coming through here, so then we know it just went through here. But if we got someone stealing out of here, someone having a burglary, we'll know who they were, because they can't say they weren't here. Because we'll
That's
have,
not their license.
they'll have a plate, license plate, and a car. It takes a picture of everything. So that's the biggest and best thing. it's gonna be.
I guess, Roy, by having the cameras in this building, it really benefits all people that's town.
Yeah,
If you wanna do
all
it,
the people
fine.
who pay the taxes.
I know,
for this.
no, I know.
You've been down the road.
I get it, yeah. I mean, I do get it too. I get what he's saying.
Yeah, I get it too. But like most people either have Ring or ADT or some cameras on their house now. Like this,
We just installed 4.
and it's just so sad that we live in
And
a
it doesn't
world
matter whether you have the
that you
cameras,
have to
you
have
just
this
don't-
It
now.
does.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
cameras don't sometimes
It doesn't deter.
deter crime, but at least it gives us an idea of who it was.
right.
Or we can go
If
after.
it's doing all those LPRs and taking snapshots, what is the storage like for that? What is the,
Oh, this thing's gonna be huge, but then it'll leave it, it'll keep it for like a month and then gets rid of it, unless we need it. Because if it's nothing, like if it's just not hitting, it'll get rid of them after a while.
That's what my camera system does.
It's
Mine
just
does
get
every
rid of
30 days it
And
cleans
so,
out.
Yeah.
but it'll keep us at least like 48 hours. So if someone like 3 days from now says, hey, I wasn't home, I was on vacation. My house got broken into, you can go back and see if anybody drove that way.
Do we have the capacity now, or do we have to
All
upgrade?
that's included in this thing.
That's all,
Oh,
Oh, this is all in this thing.
it's all
So do you have
monitors.
the option of saving whatever you want to save and get rid of whatever you want to get rid of?
I think it's gonna be, well, it's actually, some of it's cloud-based, so it's limitless with him. So we'll have that, and then we work with the vendor to do everything, so this way. So he's, because he has to go to court all the time for these things, because he is the vendor. So he's got currently in the police, he's got him in Utica, he's got him in Yorkville, Whitesboro, New Hartford, the town of Webb, a couple places in Herkimer, police agencies. He's got them all over the place. So down in Albany, he's got them. And so he has to go and testify. So this way nobody altered it, because it's all timestamped. If you go to change it, you can, but it shows that you did it.
It shows that
So
someone
you have
tampered with
access
I can't even
to
go
whatever
in
gets-
without a password, and it'll say, at this time, they went in here, they did this.
So if you needed to go back a couple months, you can. There, it's still stored.
Correct.
It's just not stored here.
Right, some of it'll be stored here, and then once it's like going on after the 48 hours, it'll go to the cloud.
Gotcha.
Now, do you guys want to make a motion with the exception that the village passes it? That's what I'm,
What's the yearly maintenance fee?
He's got 4 years on there. I don't know what it is after that. I don't even have it in front of me.
she's got it, she's got it. Do you see what the yearly maintenance?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay.
So this has 4 terabytes of storage. That's a pretty decent amount of storage.
But like if they back out, we can't afford,
No.
we can't afford 32.
Mhm.
We're gonna have to get the
Well, they had-
Amazon cameras and put on that.
Well, they had it, well, when this started, like I said, I've been doing this since 21.
Yeah,
They already had like 17,000 allocated.
Yeah.
That,
right.
so, and they didn't use it yet, so they've
Right.
got more than enough to do it. So,
Maybe it's okay. One there, it's fine.
I told him to stop with the moment jungle in there. He says, just say camera here, and this is how much it costs. So I told him, right.
Our computer, bro. Let me see if I can
And they're
get
all
some-
federal compliant, because there was a law that came out with the federal government. The camera systems can't have any Chinese part or chips in it.
Oh, what's-
So that's fine. Seriously,
Hey, while we're, waiting for
do
her
they
to,
record sound or just picture?
I don't have that answer. I think maybe the ones internally could have that option.
Because I thought it's not legal to record sound from a
Yeah, I
distance,
know,
because
we don't record sound.
that would be a
where we are.
one-way conversation.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh.
sure.
Privacy.
yeah,
Well, maybe the ones outside
Yeah,
by,
that's
so
right.
to say, an accident or something.
Well, this has,
But
it's
you-
Well,
like,
no, if we're in the
different
front
privacy
office doing
and
vital
stuff.
records,
there's different kinds of cameras at different points.
right.
Yeah.
So
of them are-
some of these, it says that there is intercom, so there would be audio. But I don't know where those particular ones would be placed.
Well, I think there's one that goes on the back. So if someone came, 'cause right now we open the door up, we can't see outside.
Oh, you can say who is it?
Yeah.
I don't see the annual.
He had something written in there.
All right, while he's looking that up, and part of my supervisor, I'm gonna do it now because it's police. This, Shenango County has proclaimed National Police Week being May 12th to May 18th for police. So I just wanted to make that a public announcement and to thank our police officers. So if you would pass that on for the board, okay? And, you had one more thing that you want to talk about for police, so we can move on.
Yeah, so granted, I'm a little new to this, but it was brought to my attention, and there was a question about the police officers, especially the full-time police officer, which is only one, working a holiday. Now, I think before in the past, correct me if I'm wrong, that they would just automatically have that holiday off if they chose to have it off.
Yes, that's how it used to be.
Okay.
We would just close for the holiday.
So the request is, because the way the world is now and the way things are now, is that paid full-time police officer that would work that day, if she would work that day, she would get time and a half and then bank the 8 hours of holiday time. That is the request that was brought.
And that would only be, as I was saying to you, that would only be the limited times that might
Right, it,
become in effect.
it affects her, just her at this point. She's the only full-time employee that we have.
And this would be only for the police.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for.
So she would get time and a half pay,
For the holiday,
and then she would get to take 8 hours off.
right, bank that 8
And
hours.
right now, she works the holiday and she only gets 8 hours off.
Right,
So no, if she works the holiday, she'll get straight time.
and then she'd get another.
And she gets 8 hours off,
Right now.
but she doesn't get time and a half but our part-time does.
Right.
So, we've talked about this, we touched on, based on it, but we never really did anything about it.
And I know
So-
in the middle of a budget year, you have to look at the budget, which I did. I looked at the amount and I looked, and there's a lot of part-time people that are on the rosters that are not working. So we have the funds to be able to cover this year. And then next year, when we do the budget, we should really make sure that we're
Planning for
planning
overtime.
this, but it's not going to cause a hardship in that line.
I think it might be this one, this top one.
So I need a motion if you want to, it would be only for our full-time police officer getting paid time and a half,
And then the 8 hours.
and then her 8 hours for vacation.
I'm making a motion.
And April's making it, and then are we retro doing this or starting from now?
Starting from this meeting.
Okay, from this meeting on.
Yeah, we're not gonna try to.
Okay, try to figure that out. Okay,
No retrofitting, sorry.
Yeah.
okay. All right, April made a motion. I need a second. And I need to know if there's any more discussion. Wait, I do the discussion after the second, right? I get confused. My head's clogged. Second, Sarah. Okay, any more discussion? Anybody have?
How many holidays last year did you schedule her for?
So there's the thing. I didn't, because I didn't want, because she wasn't getting paid time and a half. I came in instead for her because I didn't think it was fair. So she got 0. She might have got maybe 1. Maybe she might have got, maybe she
Well,
might
she
have got.
got, like on the ones that she works, she works Mondays,
13.
those holidays that she
she
works
gets- I
on
mean, I'm
Mondays.
saying.
We have 13 holidays.
Right. So, but if she works on a Monday and it was a holiday, she got the extra day off.
But she didn't get the time and a half.
She
The
didn't have the time
part-timers
and
got
a
the
half.
time and a half.
Right.
But the
Time and a half.
part-timers do get the time and a half. So. And yeah,
They don't
so,
get the extra time off.
Yeah, we don't get
So-
the extra day.
But I was also looking at salaries around, and she's getting paid well, but she's not, if you do the average, this is just a little bit more per, she's a good officer. We want to keep our officers. We got a police department, at least keep the good officers that we have. And that was just, at first I was like, no way.
she's like, no
way. But after looking at it, looking at the
She
numbers.
did the
and
research.
Did some research, I was a little better, but.
So I have a motion, I have a second. Got any other questions, anybody? John, Sarah, Roy, April, you good? All right, all in favor? Aye. Are you a no?
What did I?
Oh, I didn't hear you, sorry. Okay, all right, next. Okay, so do we want to table this to see what the village does, or do we want to,
I think we have to. We can't-
or do we want
Just make the
to,
motion contingent upon
the village? Okay, so we're gonna make a motion to get the cameras as long as the village is willing to pay the half.
I'll second.
All right, I need someone to make the motion. Do you want to make it?
Sure.
Sarah, I need a second.
Oh. Yeah.
I need a second.
Bring that
I'll
one
second.
business.
John, for cameras. Any more discussion?
Wait.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Why you know on the cameras?
Say so.
Well, you didn't say aye either, so I was assuming. You've been down the road, and I will not judge you. Roy, I will not judge you if you say no, so it's okay. Yeah.
It's
Sarah, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, we're all in favor.
Before we move on, because we're kind of still in the police department,
Okay.
sort of thing. It was also, I forgot about this one, there was some talk about the licensing and the dogs licensing. She could
And she-
probably help a little bit.
She came
Claire
up
can
with some
help.
ideas too, so.
So we have some ideas of try to collect some of this money and try to enforce.
Yeah, it's a town.
Okay, so, yeah, I saw, I don't know, somebody, maybe Lisa told me that we're gonna get a list made for the police department to
Yeah,
have
oh, she
of all
already
the.
did that?
Yeah, Lisa and I discussed all of this.
Yeah, I know
We did
someone
discuss it.
talked to
Okay,
me,
I just
but
wanted to make sure that
somebody
we were
talked to me
talking.
about it, that they were gonna get,
I-
because
Yeah, I sent this.
Carol
email.
Lawrence wants to give us her copy too, and she would like a copy of ours, because she seems to be picking up some of our dogs.
Oh, okay, because like we have, right here, it shows that we have 104 expired dog licenses
Oh,
Yeah.
No, that's right. That's going,
currently.
right, that's going back to the very beginning of our system.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
But that's still a
Lisa and I
lot.
were just playing with some numbers when
Okay.
her and I were having a conversation. So I told her, and in my report, when we get to it, I have some,
For the dog stuff.
That's what
yeah,
she
I
did.
have dog stuff.
She
I
did
have
say
some
she was gonna put it in there.
comparisons. I've got a sheet on what
You want that?
we should do late fees and, because I had told Lisa that day that I would do that in the board report, and then unbeknownst to me, an email came out that night.
Because Lisa came to me.
Oh, right.
That's how I
her-
got those information.
Yeah, because I
So,
told her
yeah,
that I
so
would bring it to the board this
As long as we're
month.
gonna discuss
Yep.
it.
We're good then.
Okay.
It's
Who
in my
seconded for
report.
cameras?
Sarah and
John did.
I did.
John seconded for cameras. Okay. Come on, let's move on. I got a time frame. We only got a little bit left.
Me too, 8 o'clock.
Okay, justice,
There you go.
justice report. Any questions? Okay. All right, assessors. I'm just gonna tell you, I have, I've been in a thread of email exchanges with the assessment or committee that they're gonna meet and all that. They're all set for the grievance day. Okay? And I will be at that. And if the grievance day is the May, oh God, what is it? The 27th, right? Is that right? Or is it the 26th? Tuesday, the 26th, I believe.
Was an assessor's report in your mailboxes today, so.
No, I have one.
So that was, about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, she had it in your
I put them
mailbox
all
a
back
while.
in again.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
Yep, I put them in
Um,
once again because a lot of times you guys forget.
There was, if you didn't see it, I'll just give you an update. 14 parcels changed in the village, town, outside of village, 40 parcels. 9 increases in village, 28 increases in town, 12 decreases in town, 5 decreases in village. So, all right. And Stewart's was raised
That was-
200,000.
That was in 2023.
That was for last year's?
Yeah, 24, it's,
Well, that's the notices you just changed. Oh, I'm
24
sorry.
totals
I'm
of
sorry,
Yeah, it's
thank
down
you.
underneath this.
Sorry, only 8 parcels in the village, 36 parcels in the town. 3 village increases, 26. Gosh, I didn't even see that, thank you. 5 decreases, 10 decreases. So, okay, so we're getting ready for that. All right. All right, Deb, town clerk.
town clerk report. So at the top page, just underneath my report, I have what our dog licensing looks like now.
Yeah.
And then suggested is down below. Now, this was something Lisa and I spoke about months ago anyway, because in our town law, we still have holding fees and such for the kennel we used to have.
Oh,
And we don't
right.
even have a kennel
Kennel
anymore,
anymore.
so I was suggesting as food for thought, and obviously can't be done tonight unless we do a public hearing for next month, is to amend the local law by eliminating the holding fee, eliminating the adoption fee, we don't adopt out dogs, add in the SPCA redemption fee of the $75. Add in a late fee after 30 days. If you look at all the towns that I printed out, the top 2 pages is our local law. After that, I have in here town of Oxford, Sherburne, Norwich, just Pittsfield, just to give some surrounding areas and basic same size. And most of them, I was kind of surprised. I had to backspace. I was going to say a $5 late fee. They all have a $25 late fee and an appearance ticket for unlicensed dogs with a $25 fine, a second offense of $50, a third offense of $100.
No, it's one way to.
And a lot of them say like you could do the late fee after 30 days and a warning for an appearance ticket, or you can do both. And that our current policy that we do right now is we send a friendly reminder, like this month on the 15th, a friendly reminder will go out for anybody who is due next month. And a delinquent for this month, because we already sent this month's out last month as friendly. So we do that, but then we don't do anything after that. And about once a year, when I see that our list is building up, I use red paper and I send the delinquent on red paper. Sometimes I put in there the Ag and Markets law, but I don't have anything else to put in there. I don't have like, you are now gonna have this late fee, or give the list to the PD so that they can go do appearance tickets. So what I'm about to do, yes, there were 104 when Lisa and I were talking last week. And I went through and I know of a couple people who had passed away that aren't any longer even in town. So I scheduled those dogs as moved. A couple other people that I know are incarcerated and beyond. And so I've scheduled those dogs as moved to try to bring the list down. I would like to, while we're thinking about doing this, send out another kind of a warning, not even a warning, send out a notice with a letter stating, we're trying to clean up the system.
Like a grace
Do
period.
you still have this dog? And please update our information. And then maybe that'll bring us down a little bit more from that. I think I'm down to like 90 something, but I go all the way back to 2001.
I think that's a great idea, at least giving everybody a heads up. This is the
Heads up.
direction we're going, so.
And so
Yeah,
if you guys are in favor of trying to do something like that to kind of bring a little more, into it, then we would probably have to schedule a public hearing in order to amend the local law, whether you want to do that next month or the month after, giving some time for us to do all of this.
If we're gonna, just if I could, if we're gonna do that, where you change the law, there was one section in there about service animals. It says don't need to require licenses. They still need to require a license. They don't need any special permits to be a service animal.
We do a license, we just don't charge them a fee.
Okay, you
We
don't
do.
charge.
No,
'Cause the way it
they're
sounds-
exempt from the fee.
Oh, they're exempt.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
just put that in there, that you still have to come in and get a license. It's just that it's free.
So you still have to prove that they have their rabies shot.
Shots, yes.
Yeah, they have to bring in that the
They have to
dog
have a
has
dog
a rabies
license,
shot,
but
and they
we
have to
just
show me the
exempt it.
certification that it's a service animal, and then we mark them exempt.
Okay.
So it just needs a little, you see the way it's written there? If you look at the thing I gave you, it just shows that it doesn't say that you
Right.
still need to get it.
Well, that's what she just said. She's gotta look at the
Oh,
local law. She's
yeah.
gotta look at it all.
Yeah, we need to amend. The only thing that I'll say, and that's, I mean, really up to you guys, is that I noticed that in the police email that came out, he was stating to put those fines and fees and things all in the dog control line. The dog control, we buy crates and gloves and very few things annually. But the dog licensing and the work that we do up front with the reminders and everything else, we've got, over $1,000 that we have to pay for the program. And so we should probably just continue putting it in under, we have different segments under town clerk. One are like kennel fees, that's where the SPCA fee goes. And those fees just kind of wash out the lines that are using the money that we use to license the dogs. The postage for the mailing and all that kind of stuff.
On the amendment of the law, Deb, we would change it instead of a kennel fee to the SPCA?
It would be the
Yeah.
SPCA fee of the 75.
Yeah, okay.
And then
I
the
don't know if
adoption
we
fee.
can, I don't know if we can get that done by next month.
That's what I'm thinking,
I
but
think maybe July.
what I wanted was maybe for you guys to look at this and have some of your own ideas, like,
Okay.
I think our law right now says we have a pickup fee of $20. I mean, I don't know whether we do the pickup fee and the late fee and the $75.
So what are you
fee?
gonna do? Like, say you get a dog, we got the scanner now, we scan it, we know who it is. Are we gonna charge them, you're gonna keep it in the back and charge them, or you're gonna just go drop it off at their
I
house?
don't know what to charge, I don't wanna go crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
But here's the other thing, and I don't even know this, did we, remember that contract, did we sign that contract?
yes.
So we did,
Yes, the SPCA, we're all set, yeah.
so it didn't go up in any prices, I thought it was gonna go up.
No.
They didn't go up, okay.
I think those are great ideas, Deb. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
that
I
we're
definitely-
right on board of
Yeah, so if anybody wants to mark up the dog license and suggested area to what they think they might, I mean, I also try to realize that dog slip collars, these are for a lot of
Dogs
people.
get out all the time.
These are
Mine's one of them.
people's like second family members and so
I don't
we
wanna
get to
kill
the
the
point
people,
where
but.
they have to
Dog
pay
license.
75 to go and get it from the SPCA, $20 pickup fee, you know, the licensing fee if they didn't realize they needed a license, plus an appearance. They're just, some of them, oh, we needed a license.
The only thing I didn't realize is that it's an annual thing. That's not a one-time deal.
I had some people where, yeah, you guys licensed your dogs for 3 straight years and now I haven't seen you in 4, but your dogs bark every time I walk by.
Right. Yeah, I think that's good. And
Yeah.
so,
So-
You got a good idea there, Deb, so.
And
Yeah.
I love the idea of the reminders.
Yeah, I wanted to work on that here soon, now that, just to kind of try to bring that list down a little more, because some of those people might be like, oh, my dog passed away 2 years ago. What
and
a
it hasn't.
terrible
come
reminder,
together.
and I feel bad, but you need to still, there's a spot on the dog license when we send the reminder that says, has any information changed?
Right.
Have you given the dog up? You know, do you still have the dog? Is the dog deceased? You need to sign that and get it back to me, because I need paperwork to take it out.
Do you,
So-
so you have a fillable form for that, or?
It prints right out of my clerk software, and then they just write on it.
Is
They,
that- I
they
wonder
check
if
mark
we-
and sign.
I wonder if we could add like a fillable PDF to the website.
That'd be amazing. I'm not very good at the fillables yet, so if that's something that you could assist me in making a form that's fillable. Because a lot of town clerk pages, and I said to you in a message, I'd like to, at some point when things get calm, utilize your assistance in getting some of this stuff. People can go online and license their dogs.
Right.
They just have to, you know, either upload or email me or the renewals they can do if the rabies aren't out. But I don't have all that stuff up there because I don't have the fillable forms.
Right.
So,
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
Okay, supervisors report, you ready? I'm gonna go fast.
Okay.
Okay, I already told you about the check made to the water service guy, that whoever was cash. In the 2024 budget, under appropriations, I made appropriated fund balances in general and in TOV. I made that to help the taxpayer. We were taking it out of reserves. That got switched into our checking account. We should have done it in January. It didn't happen, but it got done now. Okay? So when you see those balances, they have been moved into our checking account. South Berlin Fire, the year that we underpaid and we had to take it out, we paid that back to our general fund. That's been done. Okay? The first quarter sales tax check has been received. Okay? I told you about the proclaim of the police thing. Shingle mortgage tax, I just got that. I budgeted 10,000 because that's what's always budgeted in the budget. It's been for the last 24 years or whatever. We actually are only going to get $8,070.29.
when did that one come in?
I got it in my, it was a resolution that they're going to send them out.
Oh,
But I don't think we've received it yet, but this is our mortgage checks from October 2023 to March 2024. This was what I got at county today. So that will be coming and we're 2,000 under budget. So I made a note to make that on my budget to change next year because we're not up to par there. I reached out to David Merzick today because I asked him before and I haven't heard anything back from him on the, because I have to get it into the county if we're gonna make the supervisor position a 4-year, just like the board members. And he was supposed to give us the steps and the resolutions to do it. Haven't heard from him yet. I want to apologize for the beach sand. If you look at your vouchers, the beach sand was way over what I told you it was gonna be. And it almost gave me a heart attack. But me and Debbie looked today, the beach sand is doubled in price. So that's why it was way over. And I must have misunderstood between tonnage and truckloads. And I didn't understand, but I told you way under. It was 1,800 we bought for sand for Millbrook this year. Just for sand, but we hadn't bought it in 2 years. We haven't bought it in 2 years. It's nice sand, so.
It looks so much better.
It does. The last update I want to give you is the Red Mill apartment ribbon cutting. I don't know if I embarrassed y'all on the news, but I was on the news. I had to do a little speech and then I got hit and I was like this. But that went very well received, and it was what you saw it? Oh, good. So that's it. That's my report. If you got any questions, see me next week. I did not get in for the picture. They were saying all the elected officials come up. I stood right there and no one said, Wendy, get up here. And I was like, yeah, I don't take a good picture, so I didn't do that. Okay, that's my report. Planning board minutes. Let's roll. You got 40 minutes. I put 8:41, Roy. 30 minutes, let's roll.
We got the planning board minutes, just quick note. When you do the planning board minutes, or whoever does the planning board
I'm
minutes,
doing them, we have no secretary.
can we just leave off the phone numbers so I don't have to redact them when I upload them online?
See,
I don't feel comfortable.
I put them
putting
on
the
there
phone
for my
numbers.
own information because they can get lost in my myriad of trash in my room. So when I but I can do that.
Yeah, because I started realizing, I don't think I should really be putting their phone numbers up there, so I redacted them before I put them up.
However, it's public information. You can go anywhere and get it. They freely
I've
give
tried
them.
that one, Teresa, that doesn't work
Freely
very
give
well.
them, but I will no longer put them on your copy, but they'll be on my copy.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, no phone. Mr. Orzak showed up this time?
Oh, yay.
Yeah. And, so we have scheduled, and I haven't talked to Deb about it yet, I'm gonna do that. We've scheduled a public meeting for his minor subdivision in front of our next meeting, in June. And then hopefully he shows up, hopefully nobody else shows up, and it's over.
Okay.
We had, Amanda Tittle come in, she lives up on Chef Road. The property has been just, subdivided once before, and Bougie took up 10 acres, wasn't it 10 acres she took out of it?
Yeah, something like that.
So this couple is gonna take another, acreage out of this farm. The lady's back gradually selling off the farm, is what she's doing.
And then Wally.
And, so, the good news for her was that she could do it, but the bad news was it has to be a minor subdivision because it's already been subdivided.
So, yeah, nothing she can do.
But they came in, we talked them through it. I told her to call me if she had any
Any
questions
questions?
whatsoever. Our next meeting falls on the 4th of July. So it's not gonna be on the 4th of July.
Okay.
We've discussed it and it's going to be July 11th
Okay.
at 6:00. So that's another thing there to tell everybody, Deb. So,
So that's gotta be put in the paper with the public hearing?
yeah,
Quick question.
at some point, but we haven't gotten to that stage.
Stage yet.
We're not at that stage yet.
The website has the planning board meetings on the calendar. I don't know where that comes from though. Do you know where that comes from, Ted?
The town of New Berlin calendar.
Oh, okay. So if you update it on yours, it'll update there.
Yeah, but I also have to, we had it repeating every second Thursday, and then a couple years ago, you guys don't
We
do,
made the first Thursday of
the-
the month.
we did the first Thursday of every month, but then a couple years ago, you guys decided
We-
to take out winter months. It
We
was
took
never
out
adjusted that.
December, January, and February. We did not meet December, January, and February. And that started when we came one night and the weather was horrendous. And I'm not jeopardizing people's lives that are volunteering their time.
Right.
Do you have a date in June for the minor subdivision? Or that's something you're gonna get with me?
No,
'Cause
because yes, you mean for Orzac?
Yeah.
It'll be before our next meeting, which is what? What's the first Thursday of June?
Oh, so that's when, okay, so it's not a special meeting.
No, we tried that and he didn't show up.
Six.
So this time he either
The
shows
sixth.
up at our regular meeting.
And it's not a special meeting, so I don't have to
No.
put that in. And the
It's just that it's
minor subdivision you don't have yet.
5:45 for his public meeting.
The only one you gotta change is the July one.
He's not coming, although John was willing to come. Then he changed his mind.
So what months don't you meet, Teresa?
We don't meet in December, January, and February. I've also had a lot of phone calls recently about people who are buying property in the area and want to know what we feel about lot sizes and all that kind of stuff. I've had two like that. I also had another phone call about the looks of the old school down there. Whoever's bought it is not happy with his electric bill. So he wants to know what he has to do to put solar panels on the roof. And I said, we have a renewable energy law and it's on the website. Look at that and that will get you started. And he said he was gonna call me back the next week and I never heard anything from him.
You probably looked into the price of it. You found
So
what the rest of us did.
So,
All right, is that it, Teresa?
that's it.
Okay.
See, I didn't
All
even
right.
take 40.
Do I do a motion to accept the reports? Or did I already do that? Okay, sorry. John, Highway,
No, not for the member committee reports you didn't.
I need a motion
Yeah.
for that. Okay, so I need a motion for the committee meeting.
Oh, wait, you guys don't have reports. I totally misguided you.
So yes or no motion? Okay, never mind. John, Highway,
Nothing, already talked about pretty much what we needed to.
okay, Building and Grounds.
Did Lawrence come and check our furnace?
No,
Why is that, do you know why, or?
I don't. I just sent a message asking if he can get us on the schedule. And he
was
said
gonna
yes,
write that
and I
note.
didn't
This
hear
is-
back from him as to when.
Did,
Well, I know he was away on vacation, but I think he's back now.
Brian, did he come and do the toilet?
No,
Did we get contracts on the furnace, the service contracts on it?
No, they wouldn't send us one.
we've asked about 6 times now.
From who?
Reese.
From Race, and they won't send us one, because they don't have any people to come and do it.
Well, they've had quite a few people come out and look at it.
I know,
They
but
never
they-
fixed it.
It's
It's still doing the same
So
thing.
Deb, you reached out to Gary again?
I reached out to Gary about last Monday when we came in, and it was like 62 in here. I said, could you get us on the schedule? Because then the furnace vibrated and shut off. Brandon came and he got it Tuesday. I just dealt with it Monday. Tuesday, it remained cold. And Brandon said, oh, it's really cold in here. He said, I'll go reset it. So he reset it. It warmed up. That actually all must have happened on Friday, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'm totally wrong on that.
Okay.
It was like an on again, off again during the week. We just decided not to use it.
Voucher Sunday.
Yes, and this morning I went and got Penny's heater, then I went down and I flipped the switch and I reset the
But
furnace. It vibrated, shut off, and
Doesn't work then.
I just used Penny's heater, and for tonight I turned that one on so that you guys would be warm.
Maybe we ought to find a supplier that's got a service group.
No,
call Prodell and get rid of Race
Yeah, but
Marshall.
I thought Reese Marshall was bought out by someone.
I haven't heard that. Okay.
I just heard that from somebody. In fact, I almost heard it.
I will reach out to Brian and find out. He didn't hear it together, but take care.
I just raised it so I can still use it. Stuck my hand down in there and attached the chain to the broken arm and left the thing off in case
Was
it
the
slips off.
the handle broke?
Yeah.
Okay. Youth, are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. Youth program, Sarah.
We got swans in the water.
I know, and Connie's back there shivering still.
I am.
What did that do?
It was mighty cold today.
What did it do?
They look very nice. though.
She had to go, she had to go in the water and put them out there. I told her I'd let her use my kayak, but
Yes.
How many geese you got?
we bought 2.
We got 2 swans. I don't know how effective they are.
I'm
We
just
just
asking
put them
that.
in today.
Oh, okay.
Just put them in today.
Right.
Just put them in today, cause there was
So-
no way over the weekend when it was only 51
Oh.
degrees
Yeah, it was
outside that I
cold
was
and
getting in
raining
that
and-
water, but it wasn't any better today, so.
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
let's,
Pat do it.
okay. You got anything else on it?
No, I don't think.
Okay, I got stuff for you.
Okay.
Okay, did you get prices?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. We, Connie called, Aqua Valley for printed water. And,
Give me just 1 second.
and then here is, this is from D&D Refrigeration out of Morris. This is their cooler. I have it, I can show you on my phone in color if you want to see it in color. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. He wants 600 to buy the refrigeration. And then it's $1.50 a bag. He'll sell us ice. It'll fit 100 bags, which I don't think we need 100 to, and they're 7.5 pound bags for $1.50.
All right, so you said the cooler is 600.
Yeah, I'm gonna see, he probably won't, but I'm gonna ask him if he'll rent it to us.
110, right?
I didn't ask that because I don't,
I would think so. I don't know.
I can,
And this is the used
Oh,
refrigerator?
I don't think it's 220.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so you said the bags are wholesale at 150 per 7 pound bag.
yeah. Did you say, is it 110 or what'd you say?
220. I don't think it'd be 220, you're right.
What is that called? 110 what?
Well, it might be 240.
Is it,
That's a
What is a bag of ice?
It is single phase, right?
box.
Is it like $3?
okay, talk to this, tell him what you want to say, because I don't know what these questions are. But I'm gonna hit the microphone and just ask the question and it'll,
Is it 120 single phase or 240 single phase?
Didn't take it.
do it so he can do it. So, and he might text me right back.
Is it 120 single phase or 240 single phase? Okay.
Okay, hopefully he texts us back. So we won't be able to make a decision if he doesn't. But,
Probably won't. Yeah, I don't know, that's pretty fair.
I mean, 100 bags of ice, I would say it's probably the size of the ones at Stewart's, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think, seems like they'd be
Or-
120 volts.
Or it's
Did he say that?
He says he will provide us with 7.5 pound for $1.50. And I think that's the bigger bags, not the little bags. It's the bigger bag, don't you think?
I don't know.
Well, I think the smaller bag is a 4 pound, so I don't know.
So, and the bigger bags, I think, are like $4 and something.
Dollar General, it says 220, but I'm waiting for it to load to say what,
What size?
weight is.
it-
said
yeah,
at Dollar General, ice was 220 a bag,
$2.20 a bag.
but it's
I'll check the prices.
Because we got two different bags up there.
Are we gonna
Okay.
have
Was
the
that-
meeting?
They got two different bags.
Oh,
Do
do
you
they?
want,
Yeah,
let's
big
finish the board
Big
meeting
and
first,
small.
please.
Well, because now I know when to have it by.
I wanna
Okay,
say one of those is 7 pounder too, at Dollar General, but I'm not 100%.
yeah, I think,
Can't remember.
they had two sizes, because
We
like
got two
one,
sides, right?
yeah, one size is here, one size is there, and one's more than the little bag.
I'll
Okay.
check prices at Dollar General and Stewart's.
So I mean, if you think you want to sell ice, the next update I have is, Joan, no, Wendy, you're not setting up the sales tax account. No, I will set it up. I said, okay, Joan. So she's gonna set up the sales tax account, okay?
Sounds good.
I said, I think I can do that, Joan.
So the Aqua Valley water, it's, what I got a quote for was 16 ounce flat cap, 24 pack, private label, which they'll put our logo on the label for
Okay.
us. There is one-time plate charge of $70, $75 per color, but it's only a black and white label, so it'll only be for one color, black.
So it'll be $75, okay?
Label cost is 4 cents per label. It's 2,000 labels on a roll, which will equal out to $80.
Okay,
Case of water is
Wait, back up. 4 cents a label. How many on a roll?
2,000.
2,000.
2,000 labels.
Okay.
And that'll average out to $80. Case of water or case cost is $15.95 plus the New York State bottle deposit, so you're looking at $16 a case.
Okay,
Minimum orders 20 cases.
20 cases.
How much is it a case?
So it's a 24 pack.
24.
So it's gonna be 24 times 5 cents, not 5 cents once.
No, the case is, the one case is $15.95 plus the
bottle
New York
cost.
State.
Okay, so then it's, well, let's do some
Oh,
math.
yeah, you're right,
Yeah,
Deb.
it's gonna be 5 cents
So
times.
does that mean we
24.
don't have to charge for the bottle fee because we've already paid for it? Probably. We won't
We have to charge them for the bottle fee or else
So
you're
we
out.
get it.
So we get it. Oh, so we get it back. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
It's a
otherwise
dollar
they take the
twenty.
bottle and you've lost the bottle fee.
Right, right.
They're talking about raising it to 10 cents a bottle.
Oh, I might not throw mine out then.
17.15.
Does everybody got me a total?
17.15.
Oh, 1750 per case?
24.
17.15.
1700?
17.15 per case.
Of water.
Yeah, but we gotta buy
24
20 cases. What's the
Okay,
total?
so times 20 cases
It was gonna be,
is $343 even.
$343.
and then the
And
whole
yourself for what?
cost was gonna
Plus
be
the setup
400
costs.
something.
And then,
80 is 423. That gives you 2,000 labels. The setup cost is a one-time.
475, roughly. For the whole setup, plus the cases of water, it's gonna be $470 roughly, because I didn't add the 5 cents per
okay, well,
bottle.
we got
498 for the whole shebang.
498.
You gotta put the labels on yourself.
No, they do
No,
the
that's, it'll be
labels.
all done and
They
they'll
were
be all
saying for a
sealed.
roll of labels, I was like.
Yeah, but
put 'em
you
on
buy
yourself.
a roll of labels for
That's a
2,000.
big birthday party.
So,
you're getting ready.
Sarah, 24 divided into 1715. How much does it cost us a bottle of water?
Well, no, you still have all the setup fee and everything else.
Yeah, that's
One
gonna
time
be
fee.
$498, was that what you said?
Right, $498 for the first order.
Okay.
One time, sure.
So how much are you gonna charge for a bottle of water?
All right, well, if it's 17.15 per case, let's go at cost of,
It's $1.04 rounded up per bottle cost.
wait, how'd you do that? Tell me the math you did.
So I took 17.15 per case times
Do you
20.
think we should have
cases.
that on it? I think it would look nice.
We had all of that. It was $498.
Yeah.
So I took 24 bottles times 20 cases
Okay,
And then we'd have it.
and divided it by the 498. Come up with a $1.375, so $1.04 per bottle.
wait a minute. 20 cases of 24 bottles is 480 bottles.
You have to divide that into 400, cost
Oh, I did it
498
backwards.
98
498
divided by
Divided by
480 is
that.
$1.04 per bottle.
Yes.
So would you charge 225 or would you charge, and plus the 5 cents?
Well,
Or would you charge a flat $2 plus the 5 cents?
well, what kind of a percentage margin are we looking to make a profit? If we want to do, say, 30%, if you charge
That's $2 to be-
136, it'd be a 30% profit on every bottle.
Well, I think it's easier math.
Think
just
about
to
what you
double.
would pay for a bottle of
Yeah,
water.
I've
I think
paid,
$2 is pretty, anyway,
Yeah, and
anybody would pay
nobody's
$2.
Yeah.
gonna, nobody's
Do
gonna
we
pay
feel
more than
like $2
$2?
is too high though? Should we do
No,
175?
you pay
But
that.
here's the other thing,
you paid
your
it-
profit margin is gonna grow the following year because you still have 2,000 labels.
Labels.
You haven't
Right.
even used them all. You've only used a quarter of the labels and the $75 fee is already paid off too.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
So the following year,
I
that
think $2
$498
is
drops
a
down.
good price for a 16 ounce.
Oh, God.
So do we want to do that this year or do we want to just buy cases of water and keep them plain this year and wait? Because we've had a lot of expenses. That's my next question.
Yeah, it seems to be keep banking.
Yeah, like we've spent a lot of money already and we don't even have the linoleum and so the linoleum's probably gonna wait. Do we want to go this route this year because it's going to be new this year, or do we want to just buy cases and just sell like Aqua Valley water with no label?
If you just sell generic, not generic, but basic water this year, you're gonna know whether that store's gonna take off. If you buy 20 cases of water, you're stuck. I mean, and there's an
Yeah.
expiration date on water, so you're stuck with that water,
Right.
and it may not fly.
And he will, I forgot to ask you, did he give us a price just to buy, like if he'd deliver 10 cases of water to us? Or we could pick them up?
I could probably pick them up.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Probably
ask
still
that.
be the same 17.15, right? Because the labels
Yeah,
and
it
the
won't
setups were
change.
different.
Oh, no, the case of water were $15.95. Oh, but that with the
17.15
deposits.
with the deposit.
Right.
So, or we can just buy them at DJ. I mean, I don't know how you guys want to roll with this, but we're gonna start it. I'm thinking you're gonna start with water. Right?
Right.
Maybe ice.
Wait, a case of
So-
24 is 17.15 at Aqua Valley?
Okay, see what happens.
Just buy
I
a
paid
couple
5 and
cases.
change for a case of
Yeah,
24 at Dollar General.
Yeah, I paid cheap.
So we can go to BJ's or something and,
Yeah, my Alkine.
okay, so we're not gonna do the water this year. We're gonna see how and let's keep a tally of how much water we do sell. But I wanted to see, I didn't know it would be that expensive. I thought it'd be a little cheaper, honestly.
I wonder if it's kosher to purchase the labels from them and put the labels on our own bottles.
Easy, now you're getting crazy. Stop. All right, so I told you about the tax thing. We talked about the waters. We're opening this weekend.
Yeah.
Correct? I can't do anything about the ice because I'm gonna ask if he will rent that to us because it's our first year before we commit to buying.
How much do you want to rent it for?
I don't know, what would you think a fair price would be? Rent with option to buy?
Yeah, that'd
Plenty
be
about
good.
the most.
Where's that gonna be kept?
So we kept that aside.
Outside on the side of the
How do they-
office.
Keep them from like.
Yeah.
Stealing the ice out of it.
Well,
You got a
no,
lot
but
of
not even
padlock
that,
on
but in the wintertime when there's no,
We'd probably have to bring it
there's
into
no
our,
electric, yeah, I was
our-
gonna say,
we
you're
would
gonna
have to take it to the town barn and store it.
Yeah,
Or
because
put it under a pavilion.
If you
Big
bought it,
ice.
yeah. The year or two we did ice, they gave us, the company we did it through
Gave it
just
to us.
gave us the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And then they supplied the ice and we had like a fee per bag or maybe,
Do you know who that company, they're out of business, right? Because Norton's is out of business.
no, it wasn't Norton's. I looked that up a long time ago and we found it. It was a little bit hard because I had to type in ice into our program. And with that, we ended up, although I actually kind of know around about the year. So we were able to look and I remember seeing it when Connie and I looked at that.
The only other
Couple
way
years
we
ago.
could determine to start small is, do you have a large freezer there?
Freezer, no. Fridge, yes.
So we couldn't store like 5 or 6 bags of ice at a time and just buy them outright. And then you're not gonna make any money that way, but, okay. All right, so I guess let's skip table 2. Okay, table in the water, table in the freezer till, I don't know if he didn't text me, he's probably in bed. Okay,
See if somebody's got a chest freezer, they're not using. Maybe you can get a loaner.
because I gotta
Yeah.
tell you, we probably could buy a chest freezer at Lowe's cheaper than an ice freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
A
if we
smaller
get a
one.
chest freezer.
We
it
can
just
store
has-
it inside and
Right.
not have to pay for a padlock and maybe he would still service the ice at $1.50 a bag.
Right. Could you ask him about that?
Yes, I definitely can ask him about that. Okay.
Okay.
All right, next, so nothing else, you're ready. Oh, do you want to speak about the inspection?
Oh, the inspection went good.
Yep.
There's no violations, everything good. The water came out perfect.
Oh, he did test the water too?
Yes,
Okay,
she
so-
tested the water on the inspection.
Okay, so Brandon hasn't got his test back,
He hasn't gotten his test
Okay.
back that he sent out to the
but
first
hers
Hers
passed.
all passed testing, everything passed up there, so we're set to go. And the permits in the mail. I saw the
Beautiful.
envelope on my desk, so I think that's probably the permit.
On the bathroom, Sarah, do you want, we don't have a railing on the back side of the toilet. You're supposed to have one on the side. And then you're supposed to have one in the back side, the other. We don't have one. Should we have one?
We probably should, yeah.
Brandon said he would get a couple of them and put them on.
Okay.
So Brian asked me, I said, I had no idea what you're supposed to have.
Right, yeah, I have no idea what the ADA compliance is.
He said that you're supposed to have one on the back side, the opposite side of the walls on. the wall.
Okay,
So you can get, be ready to want to, you know.
right. Yeah, that's fine.
I wondered, I've seen that in some bathrooms. I
Okay,
wondered, like, why
before
it's back there. It's
we
good to
move
look at.
on, we talked in committee meeting and it's in our new business to pass the motions. But you had mentioned to me you want to change the rental of the pavilion. So before we make those motions, what was, because I don't remember, so you gotta tell me.
I think, what did we were gonna say for the pavilions at 40?
40, because they're at 30, or 25 now, we were gonna do, the original, what you guys wanted to do was 40, and I
It
was
was,
thinking that
it
was
was
way.
25 for 2 hours, not per hour.
Right,
Right.
25 per hour, or
Per
25 every
block.
2 hours. And you guys were talking doing 40 hours, or $40, upping it to $40. I'm thinking that's gonna be too much all at once. So what I was thinking was upping it to 30, but then Sarah said that doesn't even cover the cost of employment.
Right.
So we were talking about doing it for 32 every 2 hours to cover that cost of having workers up there.
Right.
And then maybe
Instead of
next
going to
year,
40,
Instead of going to 40, why don't you just make it like a 35 so it's an even
because I
number?
like 32.
It seems odd, 32.
Maybe to you, 30.
But that's
seems
a
good to me.
$10 increase.
it's better than
Is it 20 now or 25 now?
25 now.
So that's $7 increase.
So it's only 7.
And you guys wanted,
At 35, it's only 7.
No,
32. It's a 7.
Yeah, let's do it 10 and do it 35.
I don't think so.
I vote for 35. It costs how much? 25 an hour.
Right now.
No,
No.
at the firehouse, we just went to, it's $25 an hour.
But they have a bunch more.
Well, not our firehouse.
yeah, but they have,
Not our firehouse.
Yeah, that's,
Well, ours is, no, well, yes, I guess technically it is. For 4 hours, it's $100. So
yeah,
yes,
it's $25
technically
an
it is.
hour.
But yeah.
You can't find a place, I'm
But you're
telling you.
also getting what, a kitchen?
You get a
have your
kitchen.
Kitchen and the conference room.
see, up there,
This is
you don't
35
have,
for 2 hours. Power and
You're
water.
getting a spigot,
You're getting power
No,
and
we're
water.
not, we're not, you know, at the
You're getting
municipal.
picnic
you're not getting a
tables.
All right, come on, someone make it, 32, is everybody good
I
with
vote
32?
32.
She making a motion for 32.
I'm making a motion for 32.
Okay, so when we do the motions, we're gonna set it at 32 an hour. Because I don't think you've changed the website.
Not yet, not until.
Okay, all right, so we're done with Millbrook. Let's move.
We put a notice on the website that
Okay.
it was going to
We
change.
change on the 15th.
All right, I don't know where I'm at. Youth, okay, police, you don't have anything else.
No.
Ambulance, I gave you the report.
Yep.
Okay, resolution 25 to approve the vouchers. Somebody hit me with some figures, Sarah. I think you have them, don't you? Kind of, sort of?
No, they're new. They're the new sheet I gave you.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
There's that new sheet up in the top. It says unpaid, and then you can barely notice a number 2 in the corner because where the printer cut it.
I see it.
Okay, so general,
with the prepaid or?
general is the 5,000.
504905. Just, if you look, it was printed on 5/13 at 12/24. Up at the top. That was the new one I just did. Because there
Okay,
were a couple things that were in the voucher review and a couple of things that Wendy and you and I noticed, and so I think those got moved
Fixed.
because bills hadn't gotten paid yet.
okay. Town outside the village is 3,125.08. DA is 15,794.48. DB is 38,543.65. Am I going too fast? Is everybody with me? I don't have a Sutherland lighting on here.
There isn't, no,
Yeah, but we had vouchers for them.
in prepay.
In prepaid.
Those were already paid, so they're not in
Oh.
unpaid.
Oh, okay. And FX is 159345. Any questions, any discussions? Did you read your answers?
Did we
Steve?
move yet? Got them.
Oh, no, we just got the things down. Yeah, I need a motion
I'll move.
for the resolution. Sarah?
Then we gotta do a roll call on this.
Yeah, but we gotta have discussion. Seconded by, I need a second.
Second.
John? Discussion?
Yes.
Okay, discuss.
Debbie, did you get a copy of the invoice for Bishop? The
No,
second one, not the first one?
They sent a statement, not an invoice. I think they overlooked, and sometimes they do that. They're a small place, so
Right.
at the time, instead of the invoice, they sent the statement.
I just would ask that you get a copy of the invoice itself to put in the file and not just the statement.
Okay.
What was the deal with Lowe's? Do you remember the deal with Lowe's, Wendy? No.
Where's Lowe's?
Lowe's isn't on here.
Yeah, I thought Lowe's we figured out.
I have a circle next to it, I don't know why.
I thought we figured Lowe's out.
I think we did.
Yeah, Lowe's was pretty self-sufficient, I think.
Well, you took Lowe's off on ours.
That's because it only had
It didn't have,
a receipt, nothing else with it.
There was one
That was my
on, there was
mistake.
two on Lowe's, but we couldn't pay
Lowe's
the
got put into the computer system, but we need to wait for the statement.
statement,
So
because it
I
wasn't
pulled
on the
them.
bill. It wasn't on the
You've
credit
got-
card.
You've got the new one now, and the new
Yeah.
one's not there.
And then Lowe's, we changed the code for those. We didn't approve the Williamson lawn. Do we want to talk about renewing that or no?
I did, she doesn't know yet.
I'm just so unsure because I don't know if in the middle of changing, I just noticed today on the bills that I did, the date is wrong because we changed the setup of the date of billing. So now my late fee shows April 1st, which was the same as my billing date.
Before the bill goes.
But because the late fee used to always be set up because you had to pay it by March, now you have to pay it by April. So I gotta figure out if I can go in and change
Change
that. But
The-
I don't
the
know if we
Williamson
can handle
law
another change right
It's
now
her
since it's
water,
working.
it's her water program, which is a pain in the butt. So I said, before I sign it, are you sure you want it? Not, look,
So it's a pain to use when we're doing meter reads. Currently, we do not have the system set up to do meter reads. The software is out of whack, the meters are out of whack. So I'm utilizing it a little bit different and it's working this way.
Okay.
Once we get the software all fixed and we're able to bring reads back in again, somebody either needs to come back in and do another
Hopefully.
training or
but
because
that's
it's-
part of it.
it's 12 steps
Service
to get the
help is
meter
part
reads
of that
in.
contract.
Okay.
But without doing meter reads right now, it's working.
Okay, so we're gonna keep
So we
that.
want to keep it then.
Yeah, so I gotta sign that voucher.
I don't want to learn another program right now
Yeah.
just to
Yeah,
Come on, we're.
read
just
one
sensitive
bit when we get the
bunch,
meter
sure.
reads going.
anything else?
Depending on where she is, there's,
I'm
we can
good
go
there.
over the voucher review. I can answer
Yeah.
any of the questions you have.
I read the red, so.
I don't think I put it on my review, but on card member service, one of the codes says split. Could you just let us know what those two codes should be instead? Cause I think it's, or an entry was recorded with two lines, and when it does that, QuickBooks doesn't like to give you both codes.
And I think she redid that.
She redid it.
I think so, and I think that's also where you say something was paid twice or was on two reports. Nistica, you said, was on two different
Yeah,
reports.
Nistica was-
That's what it was. Nistica was the split, but then
Okay.
she ended up putting it on a report
Okay.
with the lines on it.
Oh, but that was on free pay, so. Okay. What stupid nice egg things.
And I
Yeah,
said,
the
you
next-
understood, they gave
Yeah.
random credits
Credits.
to everybody, but they didn't change the bills.
They didn't change the bills, and when we went and paid them online, they don't match what our statement. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't even know how to compute that.
They did that to my own personal ones
Yeah.
too, and I'm like, why is
So
my
we
daughter
figured
paying
all
less
those
than my
out.
bill?
Okay,
We're good?
I think that,
Gillies, I put those credits in and I adjusted that. That's also a reason for the reprint of the report.
okay,
So I adjusted the lines on that and I don't think there was anything else. There was
Oh.
1 cent on Frontier.
yeah, which, you know, whatever, we overpaid it a penny, it'll be a penny
Credit.
less next month. The only other one that I saw in here still was, I think it was card member services, how it was split.
Card member services almost this month, not to be understood by anyone that wasn't sitting there at the time we were staring at the screen trying to pay the bill online.
Right.
Because it was just, we had still had a water credit, which again was being eaten up by, you know, the different fees that were coming up.
What do you mean a water credit?
Water at one point in time had a credit because an invoice was double paid. So I was trying to hold on to that credit for when water ever needed the card again.
Okay,
At some point, we decided to start paying online and you can't pay more than what is there.
right,
But we noticed also that the full credit wasn't there because the finance charges were eating away at water's credit.
Mhm.
Okay, so now that we went in and paid, court bought a toner. You guys decided they could return it because it was a toner from Heck.
we got a different one.
And then we got a different one. The one that we got was more expensive. So, but they still had their credit sitting there.
Right,
And we hadn't paid for their new toner yet. So what Joan did was she put the entire credit onto court.
Mhm.
And then whatever should have been owed back to water, she is making a bank transfer
Oh, she's making it.
back to
Okay.
water.
Oh,
And
okay.
card member service is 0.
Right,
Okay.
because we got the balance
Yeah.
that you got.
I saw that it was
Yes.
the correct.
Balance, so I'm like, I'm excited. It was
This is
hard
not
to
an easy
get
trip to
navigate.
get there.
But it
was-
matched. When we saw what we bought and we took the credits, it matched what
Her
she
and I
paid.
kept going, I don't understand
And I'm
this.
like,
And then it
okay, we're good.
finally, a light bulb went off. I've been trying ever since we did that to remember so I could explain it, but it's
Okay.
getting a little dim.
Right, I got it.
Okay,
But it is 0 now.
Okay.
beautiful.
Very
And
good.
I'm working with the bank to get us 2 separate cards, so at least we can have $2,000 credits. Okay, all right, next, so go ahead, we got introduced by Sarah, seconded by John.
Any other questions?
No, we're good,
Okay, Christian?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Reifenberg?
yes.
Stockwell?
Yes.
Wales right?
Yes.
And if anybody noticed, it says Reifenberg, not Reifenbach.
I immediately looked.
Okay,
Reifenbach is cute.
yeah. All right, next.
Motion for non-public.
All right, do I need to make a motion for the balance sheet, or is that all, we're doing all of that? Because
That's all of the vouchers.
Okay, all right, approval of the financial reports. I need a motion.
Move
John,
I'll second.
Sarah? Okay, any questions? Okay, just,
I'm gonna move the balance sheet and loan fund
Down
down to
there,
financial
okay.
reports.
okay. Just a quick thing on the revolving, loan fund. Joan has got some committee people together. We talked about setting up a date to, get a tentative meeting, okay? Next thing, old business. Police car was sold for $3,500, asking bid we got, okay? So that was done. New business. Highway new hire. I thought we were gonna be able to set the date tonight. That's why I added that to it, but we're not.
No.
Okay, so,
That just showed me your phone where she told them to 4 weeks. For some reason, they didn't put it. So, not sure why she's put it.
so what are we gonna
I'd
do?
like to, I don't know if you wanna go 2 weeks for deadline and.
I think we've got to at this point, because you're talking, it's May 13th, 2 weeks. You're talking, that's a holiday weekend.
Did you get it in this week?
I'll put it first thing tomorrow morning.
So then you're talking, it'll be the second, probably the second, you'll review the things the first week of June. And probably the second week, first week of June, the end of that, you'll have to do interviews so we can pass it at the board meeting. By June. You can't do it anymore, sorry.
So the deadline is the 23rd, 31st.
Like if you, today's the 13th, so you get it for 2 weeks. This is a holiday weekend, so the deadline would have to be the 31st.
Right.
You review the applicants. Hopefully you could get some interviews in it towards the end of this month. Our board meeting's the 10th. Even though Pete wanted us to wait 17th, I can't wait on the Belgian man. So, I mean, we're giving him a little more time, but. So that's where I think I would go with it, John. Unless Brandon said we could put, what's his name on for an extra day.
We could put them on, this is May, well, we could do that, we could keep them on
And
That's
have
the
it
day
run
for
for
May.
4 weeks.
for May and then start 1st of June, or put it in and then let it go for 4 weeks and see what we get.
And then we wouldn't be
The
voting on
deadline would
it,
be- The deadline would be 12th of
and we wouldn't be doing the new vote for the new hire to July 8th.
Yeah.
So that's your call.
I
You're,
think the cheapest thing we can do is football
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why
on. I mean,
when you said that,
after we get the help we need for a couple of months for
you know,
10 days.
I didn't think that way until we figured that. Yeah,
Okay.
right, so now.
and that way maybe we'll get more people. Because that was your whole thing.
Do that, we'll have a deadline. I'll put the deadline on there
4 weeks.
for June.
Yeah, and don't say till someone's
13th.
hired, say, taking applications till,
June 13th.
okay.
Okay, that's-
So now I have to write it, because I was just gonna email them just now, but I can't do that. Okay, so we want 4 weeks,
Yep, starting
deadline for applications,
June 13th.
6/13/24, okay?
Beautiful, thanks.
And I'll keep an eye on if anything, make sure to put it on there.
Okay. All right, the next, I need a motion for Millbrook for the water. Oops, sorry.
Do we have to approve Paul for? next
Yes,
meeting?
it's on here.
Oh, it's on there.
Bush and weeds. I already put
Oh,
it in.
okay, sorry.
Because I gotta
didn't see
approve
that.
the thing that I didn't
Okay,
approve too.
yeah, no. Yep.
Okay, I don't know where mine is, but y'all got a thing. Brandon says we need to have, it's right here, the pump for Millbrook. Roy thinks we should have a spare if if this pump fails, our chlorine pump, we won't have any water at Millbrook. So he wants to have one in stock.
We'll be shutting it
So
down.
it's $7.99. I want a motion that we can order this. All right, Roy, second.
One second.
Sarah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, Deb, you got a copy of that too? Or unless Brandon orders this, I don't know. Brandon gave it to me. So do you want me to call Brandon in the morning or, because he might have got it from a local guy that we used.
Clean Water Store, I think we have them as a vendor. I'll look
Okay.
into it and then get with him if
Okay,
I'm not able to.
okay, generator. You got 2 quotes from the generator.
They're not together. One was in your packet, one was added.
Right.
Yep, one is K&K Electric, one is Vibert.
But one don't have the heater on it, right?
The Vibert Electric does not have the heater. I emailed him and put me in for 1,500 more. That will include the installation block heater parts.
Which one's that?
That is Vibert Electric at $1,500
More.
to that quote. And that, because it didn't have the heater, and I noticed that, so I called him and I said, does yours have a heater?
Is that a purchase and install of a heater?
That is, his quote would be $3,100
$31,800.
even.
would include
Okay.
the heater.
And this is gonna have, it's the Kohler liquid cool generator with a block, it's called a cold weather package. It says a block heater. I don't know why it says block, but.
If you heat a lot of motors, right, and start.
Oh, thank you, Roy, for that definition. So, these are the options we can do tonight. We still haven't got the cost of the pad, which I hope that our guys can bore the pad, which I think they can, right, John?
Yeah.
Um,
Not a big deal.
we can totally do it on two estimates.
300, I think I've seen one. I don't know what concrete is now. Jared, you?
I didn't catch all that.
Concrete, how much is that a yard now?
Well, so
Well, whatever. I mean, you'll know.
If it ain't $175, it ain't anything.
Okay, so we have these two bids, which technically this is, as the comptroller, this can be emergency. We don't have to put it out for bid. But we can, one last choice, we can put it in the paper and ask for one more bid from electrician if you want. Because it is over the $20,000. But according to the comptroller, if this is an emergency crisis, and we've had 10 power outages, I think this year, I technically think this is an emergency crisis. And,
It won't be if the power goes off.
yeah, because people will be without
Stays
water.
off.
We-
That's if the tank's down.
Yeah, if the tank's down, we're screwed. So do we want to vote on this tonight? Do you want to table it one more thing and we put an ad in the paper? Do you want me to try to get one more estimate? I would like to get it on the books because these electricians, you know how hard they're to book.
K&K is also offering 1 year free service, and I'm not seeing that.
He,
Oh, she does, yeah.
yeah, that's the
Oh, yeah,
difference
on the bottom, when oh, you mean on,
on his. So, but, Bibber did tell me that he would come service it yearly, but I would say there'd probably be a fee. Because I check the oil, I do all this and test it, you know,
Yeah,
so.
I love what you're doing.
And the funny thing about this, which I didn't realize, Bibber is buying it from this guy. He is the dealer.
Yeah.
He is the dealer.
Who can service the generator?
I would say the dealer, but I'd say Bibber could do it. That's why I'm confused on, do we go with the higher one because he is the dealer and he's the service guy? But I didn't like he doesn't have anything, and I left him a message tonight about third-party and electrical inspections, and is he just bringing this and having it hooked up and then we got to hire an electrician to come in and hook it? Or is he doing it? Like Bibber's report is very itemized.
It says down at the bottom, installation of new transfer switch and generator, so he's installing.
But he doesn't have anything about
Inspection.
inspections. So that's, I kind of want to go with the service contract guy. But I don't know, and you guys got to make this decision.
I think you ought to ask the question, can you service the generator? Not change the oil, not change the filters and all that stuff. If that generator shorts out, can you fix that generator? Because in home generators, we run into that. Well, I put in one that got hit by lightning. Well, I don't know how to fix the generator, fix it, but I did. And so we called.
So I need to ask
we called
both of
the people I
these.
bought it from, they didn't know either.
no,
Because like one free I think he said, I think Bibber said a 1 year free is like a $500 service fee. Like it's a $500 charge. So I need to
But that's
find
the
out
same
who
thing
can
as like
fix it.
having the furnace service, they just change a couple nozzles and
Right.
filters.
Yeah.
That's not servicing it for repair.
You want me to ask if they can fix it, and they both will have a warranty because they're both brand new. Kohler will
Obviously,
warranty
the
'em.
warranty's coming from K&K.
Well, maybe,
The warranty's coming from Kohler.
maybe we're saying,
Yeah.
the same unit, but the thing of it is, like I say, when it quits,
Okay,
somebody else called me, wanted the generator put in, I said, Harrison, buy that generator from somebody who can come and service the generator. Not put oil in it and all that stuff. Somebody who
That can fix it.
when it shorts out,
okay,
'cause
so
that's important.
we gotta table it then.
Yeah.
Do you think I should try to get one more estimate?
I mean, as long as you're tabling it, if you can try to find somebody
I
else
just-
to, and then make sure they ask all the questions.
It's a big one.
Big.
It's huge.
So that guy down in Bainbridge where we got our generators, he wouldn't have
I
anything
don't
like
think
that?
so, no. He does.
Like this thing is three-phase
Because
electric.
he's totally trained to fix.
No, what-
Yeah. I'm sure K&K can fix it. They're both electricians, but I'll ask that question. Let me just write that down. Okay, let's move on. Come on. Generate the table. Okay. All right, resolution, number, put my glasses on. 26. Resolution number 26 of 2024, authorizing an amendment of the budget to record the transfer of money from highway reserve account of the amount of $13,346.60 to be put in DB Highway 51304.4 Machinery CE. Debbie, did you print them all new ones, or you all got the ones with the red?
Wait, no, I think,
Okay, because I printed it, I retyped
I
it,
did,
so
but I've
it's
got it
a
all.
correct number. All right, because I typed in the wrong number and I talked to Joan about it this morning. So that's why you guys have it in red,
Yeah.
okay?
I gave
Where's,
everybody a new one, left it on the desk here for them.
okay, whereas the town collected the insurance check for repairs and fees and damaged tractor minus our policy deductible, we also added the wheel weights. For the additional amount due, check was to be paid to Monroe Tractor in 2023. This was overlooked and unpaid in 2023. That's why the money was put into the budget, but it got put into our reserves because we didn't get it till December. So now we're paying it.
Let's see.
Okay? So introduced by Wendy.
Okay.
John? Any discussion, any questions? Okay,
Roll call.
Parks.
Yes.
Reichenberg,
yes.
Stockwell,
Yes.
Wells, right?
Yes.
Christian.
All right, resolution number 27. This is to amend the budget to record the transfer of money from the deputy clerk's PS line A1410.1.02 of the amount of $6,304 to the new clerk of the supervisor line. This was advised to me by Joan to do it this way, even though we said we're talking about part-time and stuff, but since we only have 16 weeks, she wants to start at May 20th, so it's on a pay period. 16 weeks, she said, just do it for the rest of the pay year. And then figure out in your budget next year how you're gonna do it. So whereas the town has voted to reduce the deputy clerk's hours by 12 hours per week, these funds hours will not be allocated to a new clerk to the supervisor position. The position will be effective of 5/20/24. So therefore, now let it be resolved. Okay. Introduced by Wendy,
I'll second.
Sarah. Any discussions? While
One
we have
question I had was, I thought at the committee meeting, the board was all talking about doing these 3 hours per day for the 4 days a week from January to May, that once the season was open, there's 3 additional employees that are up at the office, and that these were just supposed to be hours for off-season.
Well, that's
We had
why,
discussed it as an option.
as an
but
option,
Didn't decide to go.
and Joan's like, Wendy, you don't even have it set up yet. Just do it for the 3 hours. If you don't need her for the Millbrook that day, if she doesn't have to go get supplies for the store, she doesn't have people coming in, she can laser fish, you can have her do something else. So that's why, to keep it simple, so we figure out what we're gonna do. I mean, she might need 3 hours a week or a day, those 4 days. That's why I did it this way. So I do know that it will not be in January. January it'll be only 11 or 10 months coming next year's budget. January will be solely for the deputy clerk line, because she'll need that for taxes. But in December, when you're gonna get ready to get the website started, you're gonna have time for that in December, closing everything up. So that's why it was done that way. So, any other discussions? Okay. Now it's your turn, Deb.
Stockwell?
Yes.
Reichenberg,
Yes.
Wells, right?
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Christian.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I have a copy, the reason why I should have probably said this at the beginning. The reason why we put it, not a Millbrook person, that we put clerk to the supervisor, this was recommended by civil service law. And they gave me a copy of the work activities and we can dictate what it is. And the reason why we can put that for Millbrook is because answers calls from constituents and make appointments for them. So that's what she's doing. She's making bookings for people that want to come camp. Because this is how the town of Green does it for their clerk to the supervisor that does all their bookings for the park. So I have a copy of this. I'll get a copy to you and to you. Okay. All right, next resolution. Resolution 28 of 2024, authorizing the appointment of Connie Lewis to the clerk to the supervisor. Whereas the town appoints Connie Lewis in the position of the clerk to the supervisor effective 5/20/24 for a 12-hour per week. Introduced by Wendy. Sorry, I took all the introductions, guys. I'm tired of my throat hurts.
Second.
John, any discussion?
Is this officially appointing and her accepting?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Would you like to say that officially? Yes.
Yes.
And
Because then.
the only other thing we'll have to do is Debbie will have to get her hours, your 20 hours, how you do it, and then we will give you our 3 hours. But she gets to pick first what 20 hours she's gonna have to do. So you guys, you'll have to just send me an email. Or let me
And
know.
Connie will have to pick whether she wants the position of clerk to the supervisor or deputy clerk for the town clerk.
What does that mean?
I mean,
That she has to pick which one she wants, because both can't be in the office right now.
What does that
why
mean?
not?
Because that's just what I'm stating, it's too much of a cross right now.
What do you mean? I don't understand. Too much of a-
Emphasize what are you trying to say? So you're firing Connie as the deputy clerk.
I am not, I am offering Connie to choose which position. Connie and I already discussed that. I had said that it would currently, in the current state of the relationship between the board and the clerk's office, it would be a conflict in my office to have my deputy clerk also the clerk to the supervisor.
That's how the town of Green does it. They do give the deputy clerk 20 hours.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have a much different relationship with their town clerk. So we have a lot of building blocks that we have to reach amongst our relationship. And that's just not gonna work.
So
For
Connie, you
my
still are
office
gonna
right now.
accept the 3 hours. So you might lose your deputy clerk job. But if,
I don't understand why I have to pick.
Right.
well,
That's a fact.
I
Because I
am,
won't be
Absolutely
in
wrong.
that office. I'll be in a different office in the building.
well, if that's the case, then
Absolutely wrong.
I have a different
I-
resolution.
I think a lot of the stuff
Absolutely.
that has gone on is very wrong with the way
Exactly,
the
Debbie.
board has backed
No, Deb,
my
you
office
are Deb.
into.
All you have to do is let Millbrook in that office and there'd be no issues at all. But you don't want to. You
Okay,
wanna be
wait,
holy about
let me
it.
Issues
speak.
are-
No, I'm gonna
wait,
speak first, okay? The issue is that we are trying to give you what you asked for, Deb.
No.
All right, don't interrupt me. Let me speak and then I'll let you speak.
Okay.
You asked for Millbrook to be taken out of your office. We have done that. We're taking 3 hours away from you to give it to somebody. We, as a board, feel like we want it in this office. We feel that is part of our town. Millbrook is part of the town, and every board member here feels like it should be part of this office. You, on the other hand, do not want it in the office. So we're trying to give you what you're asking for. But we, as a board, feel that we want at least 3 hours of Millbrook for the office. That being said, I know it used to be different when Bob was here. He was the CEO. He is no longer here. The CEO of this town now is these 5 people sitting here. We got voted in. We took an oath to be fiscally sound with the taxpayers' money. I know you feel like we are retaliating against you
constantly.
Listen to me. After I've done the research on deputy town clerks, if that happens and Connie has to decide here tonight, I have a second resolution that I'm going to present.
Which is just more retaliation.
It's not retaliation. This
It's
is
you guys
being
trying to
fiscally sound to our taxpayers.
You're taking away us helping the constituents.
Okay.
What I
I'm going
explained
to tell
to
you, no, you're going to finish, listen to me. The next resolution will be, you work sometimes Fridays, sometimes not. An average of 32 to 40 hours a week, serving the community, being in this
I work
office.
over 40.
Okay, but in office hours, I'm talking about being here for the public, not being at your house working from home. I'm talking about having the door unlocked when people come in here.
I am still there for the public on the phone, emails, and
I don't care, you can put your hours whatever
I
you
have a
want.
deputy who
But
has
after
the office
looking
open.
at the largest town in Shenango County, and they only give a clerk, deputy clerk, 20 hours, and it's split between two people, two positions, it's the same person, two positions, I feel that I would cut the deputy, whether Connie is the Millbrook person or not. I feel like the deputy clerk for this town should only be 15 hours like it originally was when Teresa did it.
No.
And then we
I
had,
showed
but
you the
we
paperwork,
had,
and that is
all right,
incorrect.
stop, I'm gonna finish, Deb. And we had, Jerry that was also here. Jerry did all the banking, the checkbooks, and wrote the checks. We have eliminated that from the town. We have eliminated that position and we hire it, outsource it now. We do not need that position. This should have been done years ago when Teresa left. It should have been cut down back to 15 hours a week, and it never was.
But you've never let me explain. Teresa was 15 and she was doing the scanning. Jerry was 32. He was doing all of the banking and being a deputy clerk.
And writing all the checks,
Yes.
which we outsourced.
Then when Jerry found he couldn't do that, he went into the back, he started cutting the checks. And then Teresa took on more hours and started
She
doing.
took on more hours because she was deputy and she was Millbrook. She did
No,
both
not
jobs.
the first year. She was not.
Right, she worked
She wasn't
15
until the
hours.
following year. She,
Okay.
Wendy,
Keep
I
going.
tried to show you the research. I put it in black and white.
I
gave you
saw
the
it,
sheet.
I saw it. And the other thing, we've spent thousands of dollars for new programs, for making the job easier,
We
tax
spent
programs.
thousands of dollars in every department.
Exactly. So we
Okay,
don't,
yeah.
and the price of wages have gone up. They go up 3%. I don't feel it is in my best interest of the taxpayers to have a deputy clerk here for that long when we
When
can
do I get to
resources.
speak? Because you
Now you
say
can,
everything
now
you
you
do
can, but we're
convince
not gonna
everyone.
be here all night. We're
I
not
don't
gonna be
want
here.
to be here all night. All I want to say is, for the last 24 years, the deputy clerk has been 32 hours. Yes, there is software that has come in, but software has come into every department. That has not changed how many employees, that has not changed the wages. There's still work to be done. We are still busy, and when I asked to have Millbrook taken out of the front office, it was because we were getting behind because it was too busy. Yes, you're trying to take it out of the office, kind of. You're just moving it across the office with some of the hours. So you're not stopping the fact that it's putting the office behind. You're taking away my deputy clerk hours and you're putting Millbrook in the office.
Because this board wants it in the office, which I can make another resolution to make it part of the town clerk's job.
The only
I
way
can
you
do
can
that.
add more tasks to the town clerk is if you are not reducing their ability to get the work done that they already have. You guys are constantly trying to reduce. When you subtracted $4,000 from me in the water, I said I was gonna need to get a part-time job to make up for that because I had just built a home. You guys warned me, threatened, if I get a part-time job, you will reduce my deputy clerk hours. So I looked at Connie and said, Connie, I don't want to do that to you. I'm not gonna get a part-time job.
Nobody said that.
You did so. You said if I reduced my hours and got a part-time
If you
job, you
reduced
guys
your-
would
if
reduce
you-
my deputy
It
clerk.
wasn't because of that.
So
You
I
already
didn't.
reduced your hours by Fridays. You stopped
No,
coming to
I
Fridays because I
am
needed
working
it.
Fridays.
And that's what you said. Now you have the last 2 Fridays you have. This is just on and
I
on.
work Fridays though, that's what I don't
Connie,
understand.
I'm sorry. If
I
you
work
accept
every
this, I'm
Friday.
cutting it out. You're out of order now. We're done. If you accept this job, I guess you're gonna lose your town clerk job.
Pretty sad.
So what we can do, Connie, is we can shift some positions up at Millbrook to let you get a 32-hour week.
I want to hear her say she's going to fire me because I'm not going to choose.
Okay. So you have to say it.
I think that's right.
Yeah, if you're
If
saying
that's the
she's
way
gotta
you want it,
choose,
that-
she's
then
not
you're
gonna,
gonna
you
have to
gotta
fire her.
decide, and we'll go on from
Until
there.
she chooses clerk to the supervisor, she could be the deputy clerk. If she chooses to be clerk to the
Nope, it's
supervisor
not going to
and
be laid
accepts
on
the
me.
No.
appointment, then I will have to.
Because
put it in
We're
the-
trying to give you what you asked for.
You're
and you
not,
don't.
Wendy, you're not. You're acting as if you are, but if you really looked at the big picture,
If
You
you
guys
really looked
keep
at
on
the big
saying,
picture,
"I
the only
don't
person
work."
that's getting screwed here is me.
Connie, I chose not to take a part-time job and make up for the cut.
But
So
do,
that
Deb.
you
You're
wouldn't
working at
lose
school.
out.
You're working at school, so don't think you did take.
Once a
something. You do.
month, maybe, once a
It's still a
month, every
part-time
month and a
job.
half.
It's still a part-time job.
I work a couple hours at the school.
That's fine. I'm not saying that. You're saying you don't have part-time.
I
You
was
do.
gonna need to
Debbie,
take
you
on
can make your
full-time
hours,
Thursday
you
and
can
Friday.
go get a part-time job, you can change your office hours and be here 3 days a week. You have the
You
right
guys
to
told
do
me
that.
if I did that, you would cut Connie's hours. So I didn't do that. And then you did.
You
cut
can
it.
still do that. You have the right to pick your hours. You can come and
I
go
was
as you
trying
please.
not to affect her.
It's gonna affect her
You are right
whether,
now.
you, listen, this
Because
is
you
where
guys
you all are
constantly go
confused.
behind my back
I
and try to cut my office.
I think this
into
is where you're
pieces.
confused. She is a deputy clerk. She did not get voted in to be the town clerk. You are picked by the people to be their town clerk.
Yes.
She is here to assist and help, not to, like, Connie's behind. Connie's not behind. If she's behind, that means your office is
If
behind.
I
That's
give my
you.
deputy a task and they're not able to complete that task because they're doing other jobs, then yes, I do have the right to say she's behind.
And just for the record, I have been doing Millbrook out of the office.
Not getting compensated.
I have not done Millbrook in this office unless I walk through that door.
Which we're
And
here
then
to
they
help
got
the people.
referred to go up there, call a different number, or unless it was a payment off season. And then I took the payment off season because there was nobody up there to take it. It's not, has nothing to do with whether or not Millbrook's in this office because I made it so it wasn't in this office. I was doing it on my own time and out to Millbrook. So you guys decide.
I asked the board back when, and I even had an applicant that was going to be the director of Millbrook outside of this office, that was going to take the strain. I had already lost the deputy clerk trying to be director of Millbrook, and I said, I do not want it in this office. At
And
the
I
time,
kept
Connie
it out of
agreed with
this
me
office.
that she did not want it in the office either, that it was too much work.
Well, we've
And
been
then
through so many people up there
Then you
working.
guys
Charlie Ackerman,
decided
we've
To
had
go
so
behind my
many.
back and hire my deputy to be the director of
Okay,
Millbrook.
stop.
Oh my God.
We did not go behind your back.
100%.
Bob Starr asked Connie. I had nothing to do with her taking over Millbrook. It was Bob Starr. So if you want to say Bob Starr went behind your back, you can say it for the record.
Not this
But
board.
this board did not
Really,
ask
Connie
Connie.
just told me a few days ago that she went to you and said she wanted it because she needed
No.
extra money.
That was
No.
after she was offered the job by Bob Starr.
No, that's not what I said,
Yeah.
Deb.
You said, yes, I told them I
Okay.
yes, I
No,
told her I
I
wanted the
told,
job.
you said I accepted this job and I said, yes, I did because I needed the extra money. It was easy and I knew what I was
And
doing.
it was offered by Bob Starr.
Exactly.
Okay, all I'm
And I
saying
think you
is,
weren't here, weren't you, Roy, when it was offered?
There was a discussion that she, I think between Deb and Bob, that she would be the best person for the job. That's the part of the discussion I heard.
So,
And
So
Bob
it
was
wasn't
the
this
one that
board.
approached me.
so right now, Connie has accepted, we've already transferred the 3. You will have to give Connie her termination notice if it doesn't work out for you. And if it does work out for you, you give me an email of the hours that she will work and we will set the hours up. End of discussion. And if it doesn't work out, I would recommend to the board that if we only took 3 hours away, we could probably make the Millbrook position more hours, because we were trying to not take it all away from the clerk. But I do recommend that we cut the clerk hours more than 20 hours if it's not Connie.
So if
and
it didn't
working.
go your way, then we retaliate further.
No, I'm not. I'm just
That is
doing what is
absolutely
ethical. I'm doing what's ethical, because I could do both. I could either write a resolution and say, I'm done with this, cut her hours, and you and whoever your new town clerk is will do Millbrook. I can make a resolution to have Millbrook in here. I'm trying to give you what you asked, to take it out. But I can make a resolution right now, Debbie, that will add to the town clerk's job of taking reservations and taking money from Millbrook
Not if you don't
customers.
give me more hours to uphold those.
No, it can be part of your,
You
it
cannot
can
give me
be
more
part
work.
of your job and it can be part of the deputy job. And I can set the deputy's hours to what the town board feels we can financially afford. And if I have to hire a full-time 32-hour week for Millbrook, then I might have to, and I might have to cut it down to 10. Because I'm gonna have to cut every budget line to be able to run the park, because the town loves the park. That's how it works. So you gotta cut, you gotta give, you gotta take a little.
Which was why
You
when
know.
you and I talked, you needed to have a full-time person for Millbrook, but instead you decided to.
At the last
to
board
make
meeting,
it
I
easier.
asked her, do we need a full-time position for Millbrook? She said, not at this
And
point.
she also said she doesn't need it in the office. You
And she
only
said-
listened to one half and not
But
the other.
the board wants it if somebody comes here. We're only giving it 3 office. And if she has nothing to do, she can laserfish and get caught up on all the stuff that's back. We can get these files that are dated that need to be laser fished in.
Working together.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
all-
you had to work together. You
Yeah, it
guys
sounds
guys
it.
just
It
keep
sounds
on
it.
reducing me.
Oh
You just reduce in every area you can. Every bit of research you do on a town clerk or a deputy clerk or a records management officer is how to least benefit me and benefit yourselves. Every
Listen,
other
I have
department,
researched more
you research how
positions
to
in
give
this town.
everybody
The assessor's been cut. I have researched that with every town in the
every time
county.
you cut the
I have
assessor, you
reached-
say without a raise, and the next year you give a raise.
I've researched everything. Listen, you think that I make the decisions here. This is a board-wide decision, Debbie. It's not me. So don't say me, Wendy does it. We
I
do
didn't
it
say-
as a board.
The board as a whole.
Okay, so email me the hours that you're gonna have or you gotta have us approved to put an ad in the paper. So you'll have to bring that to us when you fire your deputy clerk.
We need to vote for resolution 28. We have not done.
Parks,
Yes.
Reifenberg,
Yes.
Wales Right,
Yes.
Stockwell,
Yes.
Christian.
Yes.
Okay. All right, memorandum to the town, I don't know where I am, to the town clerk. This was sent to Debbie on the oversight of the website. And the board had asked me to write a memorandum, which I did. And you see the clerk has sent another memorandum to response to the memorandum. Any discussion? Everybody good? Okay, brush and weeds. Okay, it's been brought to my attention with brush and weeds that I increase the salary, the PS line in the budget, but we did not change the compensation schedule for brush and weeds. So I need a motion that because we gave a 3% raise. So I need a motion that we change the compensation for brush and weeds. It's 17, it'll be 17.51 for brush and weeds per hour.
So we had budgeted for the 3% increase, right?
Yes,
But then didn't put it on the compensation.
station
Okay.
schedule. You'll see,
John
I
said
had
no.
12,000.
I said no, I talked to Wendy about it. Yeah.
I had 12,000 budget, but
But
we
we said
put
no.
in 13,000 because we did do it. Because the only ones we didn't do was the Millbrook, because it was only a few weeks staff. But everybody across the board got a 3% raise. And I looked on the 2004 budget, I have it if anybody wants to see, I did put a $1,000 increase in there. So that needs to be changed, and I spoke to Joan about it. it'll be $17.51 for brush and weeds per hour. So moving on from that, I need to, since we have a delay in a new hire for highway, do we want to, John, he works 32 now, hours?
No, he's only working. Monday,
Oh,
Tuesday.
24?
Yeah,
24 or 16? Because if it's Monday, Tuesday, that'd be
no, that's right, yeah, he's working 3 days. So he's working.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
So,
And what's one more day?
So he's working.
well, I just want to make sure he's not going to be full-time.
So it goes from 24 to 32.
He'll be working 32. Okay.
Is it 32 full-time?
Maybe you
It's
better,
permanent part-time, I think. 35 and over is full-time
Okay.
in our personnel policy anyway. So, because you're permanent
because
part-time.
we didn't have, we used to have 2 brush and weeds. And we
Right.
Lost one, so we put in 3 days instead of 2.
Right, so that's 16, right?
He was 2.
Somebody do the math for me because I can't think.
What do you?
3 times 8, he works 8 hours a day.
It's 24 hours.
Okay, plus another 8.
It's 32.
Okay. All right, so I need someone to make a motion if you want to add him. And is this gonna,
Until new hire.
until a new hire? So
Until hire.
a motion for brush and
Just one more
weeds
It'll help and it's cheaper than doing anything else.
to work one more day, total of 32 hours until new MEO.
Yes, I make that motion.
Okay, I need a second.
I'll second.
Sarah, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next, the Millbrook rules for the town codes.
Well,
Sarah?
you need to motion the 1751 because the compensation schedule says 17.
I thought I did that.
No,
I
you
did-
just said.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we need a
All right, so a
and second.
motion to change the compensation schedule. I need a motion to change it to the 3% for 1751. I thought I did that.
Wait, so what did we move on then?
We moved on hiring him for an extra day,
Oh, okay, got it.
Right.
but we still got to change this compensation schedule motion.
All right, so update.
So I need a motion to change it to the 1751 like the budget it got approved. Yes, no?
John, you want to move? for a
Yeah,
second?
move that, yes.
Okay, I need a second.
A second.
Sarah, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, Millbrook, the rules in the town law E-code. You said something, but I can't remember.
Yeah, Deb, could you explain what you were asking?
So in E-code, I guess somewhere along the line, those rules and regulations were posted in E-code
Okay.
and they're recodifying all of our E-code. And so they wanted to know whether we wanted to leave those in there. Were there any changes? Or is that something you want to just keep in with Millbrook itself and not like filed in under the town law?
I don't know.
Because
Are they
you guys
already in the law
changed them.
book? They're already in the law book?
It was how they were making it sound. They said, we have the Millbrook rules and
No.
regulations.
No,
That's not in the law.
no.
I would keep one.
That's a
Yeah, it doesn't
that's a
make
county,
sense to me
that's a
to
county
have
thing
them
that they want you to.
I didn't think it made sense either, but did I?
Right.
That's how
forward
the new ones that we're getting the code books remade?
Yeah.
And they say we have, maybe it was from when we started Millbrook. Maybe we ought to look at them to make sure. Do you have your law book with you? You don't, Don?
No, I don't. No. Just the Millbrook waterfront safety.
I think we better
That was
table
fine,
that
safety
till
plan,
somebody
right?
looks in it.
No.
Well, they're
I don't-
looking
I
to
don't
find
know. Are
out
we
because they're
talking
working
about-
on it.
Are we talking about the
safety
safety plan or the camp rules?
Camp rules, they
Camp
said.
rules, that's a different form.
Okay.
It's like, your dogs need to be on a leash. You
Oh,
can't
okay.
camp more than
Yeah,
X
that's not
amount of
in there.
nights.
No, that's not in
Okay,
there.
sorry for the delay. I proposed the question to the Recreation Council member. Oh, no, that was me to them. Okay. Good morning. I wanted to follow up. Are you able to provide any feedback when, we're working on the last
But if
supplement.
they're in our code book, it might have been when they opened it, John.
I think the only thing it states in there is that it's there.
Regarding chapter
I don't think
109,
it
Parks
says
and
anything
Recreation,
About,
the
Well, there's
on,
Park and recreation in that book.
109.
there is.
Yes, there
She
is.
says
Chapter
it's,
109, Parks and
Yep.
Recreation. The
Yep, there
online
is.
version of the town code includes the Millbrook Campgrounds rules and regulations. It appears we added this in
Okay, I know.
2010. Does the town wish for us to include these regulations in the online code going forward? And are those regulations still current?
Oh,
just
That's a good question.
We gotta look at your book, you
The
got a
thing
book.
of it is, you have different it's like you have different levels of law or regulation.
Right.
So some things are, like we have to have, it's quite a procedure, it's like a local law, you have to have a procedure to change that,
Right,
but the
I'm gonna
part
click on
was,
that and see if that was
if
ever.
that should be another level where we can change it just
Whatever
from
we
time.
want.
I would leave it, if it's in there, I would leave it in there
Yeah.
until we look at it to,
We are looking at updating that.
okay, so then we'll have to probably have a public hearing and do all that, okay? But I would leave it as is, because if it's in our local law book, I wouldn't take it out,
Recreation, but that,
okay?
I'm not sure if it has to do with no.
But the everyday operation up there and the rules for campers and stuff, I would think you'd want to
Something
keep that
low, low,
out.
low,
So
low,
Right.
change
low.
that.
So we'll have to,
So more like the
he's,
public access park rules.
Don't you have a code
Have up
book that
there.
was turned in by Margaret? Deb?
Mhm.
Is
I
it in-
should.
Is it in there?
I have my own too in there. It says it here, it's in chapter 109, and it says recreation area and other town properties. And so it's just talking about the different things up there, but it's not saying that it's a local law. It says
No.
history, adopted by the town board of the town of New
Right.
Berlin,
That's
as
where it's a
indicated
low,
in
that's where you're
article
coming from.
histories.
Yeah,
And then it was
That's what I thought it
uploaded
was.
as a PDF, and the PDF uploaded is loading. No
You-
campground, oh, that's really pretty.
But you've changed the rules up there and some of that. so-
We haven't changed them
Oh.
yet. We want
Oh, you
to.
want to, okay.
You've got the campground reservation form with $15 a night with Katrina Benson and Sean Patrick as the people to contact. Firewood alert,
So
You
those
have a
types of
lot of
things
stuff in
should
there
be
in the
added.
that has to, you'll have to print
Yeah.
that out and send it to Sarah, email it to
So I
her.
think what we should consider at least is to put the public access rules, but keep out the camping stuff.
Fees,
there's more than
Right.
that. It's not even listed the way yours are.
Mhm.
It's not even listed. It's like pretty pictures, 10 pages.
Oh my
Pretty
God.
pictures and paragraphs and
Really?
employees and violations, guidance, alcohol,
Wow.
you're
commercial
gonna have to
activity.
look at that before we
Oh,
make any
that's the
changes.
online.
But I don't think you
So
should
the
take
one
it
that
out,
we
if it's
have
been in
is
there,
that.
you.
Like I say, I would have it so that we can change those rules pretty
When we
much
want
at
to.
will without having to go back.
Right.
and do it.
Yeah.
In that book you're going to, you can't change it without.
All right,
Plus
so
that-
Deb, you'll forward
plus
that to
book being
Sarah.
Updated and copied costs us a lot of money. The more you put in, the more it costs.
Right.
That's right.
That's what, like, you could just update like the people maybe and take the fee out. But you gotta look at it, Sarah, to see what it consists of,
Oh, right.
all right?
It,
Okay, so
Greg
now,
Margaret's book, you can borrow that, and look at it.
I don't know if it's in the book portion. This is all the
I
online.
know, that's the online, I'm not sure why.
Yeah, the
I don't
online
think the
has
book- I've
the
never seen it. I've
reservation
seen
form and
it,
everything.
Recreation, that, before, not
Doesn't sound like anything that's in the book.
all right, now we need a motion to change the rates for the Millbrook Pavilion, camping, and what else, and the electric water sites, the campsites, the water sites. So we changed three, there was three changes, am I correct on that? Electric water hookup, regular
How much?
camping,
Are
and,
we gonna do for septic dumping or?
oh yeah, I see, I can't remember, that's why I'm asking you, tell me, so we can make motions all at one time, tell me everything that we're making the motion on.
Alright, so I think there's utility site, alternative sites.
What are utility, was that
Where they
40?
have water and.
No, I mean, was that one 40 or,
What are the
Uh,
amounts?
I
Shoot, I
thought,
don't even remember.
I thought it was 40,
Let me check my notes.
20, 32, you just said?
$40 for the electrics, 40 or 20, 30 for
Primitive?
the 25 for the primitive. We went up $5 everything except for the
Yeah.
pavilions, we went up 6.
Oh, the water sites, did you change those 4 water sites, were they gonna be more?
Yes.
Okay,
Everything
so
from
they're the-
35 to 40. From,
Okay.
what was it, 25? What is the, 20?
Notes, what is going
I don't
on?
remember now. But up $5 from that.
Alright, let me pull them
I
up.
think it's $20, so it'd be $25. And then
And then this-
32 for the every 2 hours for the pavilions.
32 for the pavilion camping.
And then people, do you have the dumping people coming in, counting, did we decide?
Yes,
I thought that-
we were gonna do that, right, the dumping station.
Yes.
Yes. What was the dumping station?
I can't remember.
It ain't cheap to do anything, but it's cheaper to camp than it is a hotel is 200 a night.
I know, but you got the camper that you bought, and all the stuff in
I know, that's what's there in the yard, and you can go anywhere with it, at least that's my case.
Alright, so we were looking at utility sites going to 35,
there.
primitive to,
No, they're
no,
35,
Report
they're
notes.
already
So
35.
sorry. Going to 40, the electric and water sites going to 40.
Okay,
The primitive
Camping to 25,
5.
okay,
pavilion to 32 for 2 hours.
2 hours, okay.
And the dump station for anybody outside of people camping there was gonna be,
Was it 30?
I thought it was 30 or 35.
35.
I thought it was 35.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I remember we did the math, I think at 30 cut it at even, so we did 35.
Did you have anything on your committee notes of these?
I just looked at all of them and they were right except for the dump station. I didn't look at it.
Oh,
Okay, oh, you didn't have that one?
No, I probably have it on there. I just glanced quick, but I didn't look.
We don't
Dump
have
station.
stations.
I know.
I said 8:41. It's 9:20, we gotta come on.
we're getting there.
I
Yeah,
knew,
I
I knew
forgot
it was
to
gonna
add
be
these
late.
for
We had a lot of stuff tonight. We had a lot of stuff.
30 non-rentals. Dump fee
30
30 for non-rentals.
30, okay.
That's just so cheap.
You wanna make it 35 before we make the motion?
No, keep
I
that.
think 35. We don't really want them doing it.
Deterrent from coming.
That's for a non-camper, $35.
35.
Okay, for dumping station. I would pay $35 to go dump my camper, I would.
You would.
Yeah, because I have no place to dump it.
Neighbor.
Yeah, I know where John Parks has a lot of land. Okay, I would definitely pay.
Your neighbor,
I
north of you.
think that's my daughter.
I don't think Jamie wants it.
Okay, all right, so we have a motion. Utility sites are 40. Primitive sites are 25. Pavilion, 2 hour increments are $32. And dumping station non-campers is 35 to come dump. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, I need
The water
a,
tank ones, right? They were higher. You put them
Order
in?
utility, they're 40.
Okay.
yep. So I need a motion.
I'll move.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the other thing that wasn't on the agenda is Tracy Thompson's resignation. Y'all saw it, right? I'm confused. Debbie says we can't put them in packets, but I remember all the police officers were always in the packets. So I'm confused if they should be in the packets or not. Because the police officers, we always had them at the board meeting in our packets.
Okay.
So, but she said we're not supposed to, so I don't know.
You're taking personnel papers from,
But like all the cops, we had to have them and they were always in our
I
packets.
thought they were all just, Bob would bring them to a meeting
I remember always
Oh,
getting them
yeah.
in the,
and
they
then
were on
you
the
would let
minutes.
everyone review them and then
Got
you
them all right in here.
made a motion.
because I remember somebody asking me for one and I took it out of my packet for a copy of it one
You guys
time.
can do it whichever way. I'm just saying those are personnel documents and if you're bringing them home and something happens that's just there.
Well, they've always been in the packets before. I don't care.
Biden does it, go ahead. You go.
There you go.
All right, so, but everybody saw his resignation,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so we're good with there. Okay. All right, next, correspondence.
Are we gonna motion?
Oh, sorry, my head is so plugged. All right, John is motion for,
Are we accepting his resignation? Is that what we're saying?
yes. John and Roy. All in favor of accepting? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, letter from the judge, from the court, which I talked to you guys about this at committee. And here's a copy of her letter, and I think you got it, was the over thing with Vida, and she sent a check and I gave it to Joan, okay? The other one, this is the copy of the letter that I sent to Shenango County Sheriff's for helping our police officer. Okay, any other business relates to the town?
Did you do the UPS?
Oh, no, we didn't do UPS.
No.
Oh, the UPS.
Well, I mean, you didn't really have to, but it's way
Well,
under,
we're
but.
here.
Well, we're here, let's get it over.
This one is for what?
This is for the water plant. I think why we're having a problem with the computer system, Roy, is when the power goes out,
You lose the program.
that's supposed to kick on. It's,
That holds the program.
that holds the program, and now our program's messed up, so we gotta order that. And I don't know if you were here, you know I got the zip drive for the program thing to the guy, okay. All right, so I need a motion that we order the battery pack for the water plant. Is that what it's called, a battery pack?
It's a UPS backup battery.
Okay, backup battery. I need a motion and a second.
I'm all.
Second.
Roy, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, is there anything else on the table that we didn't have? Okay. Oh, North Shore. Did you want to talk about North Shore, the website? Sorry, I know you wanted to bring it up, but I didn't, I got,
do it next.
well, I got some,
What do we got?
I got some really
that's
quick
true. Yeah,
information.
you have some.
North Shore website, from May 23rd to December 2023, we've had 8,000 visits on the website. Sarah, there's some things that I want you to go check out, and you can tell us exactly on all these things.
How long ago was that law made that we had to put everything in?
21 and October 19th in
Tell me how many,
2021.
tell me how many people from the state have walked through that door to complain about our website without that being on there?
Nobody in the county is
How
putting
many
it
letters
on
that come from the state of New York for that website being had nothing down there?
Nobody.
And somebody goes to the trainings and now we have to do this? I don't think we should do it. I think if we're gonna have a website, we do the agenda and the minutes and that's it. Let them come to us and tell us we do it.
We
So
could
And we
write,
can do
you
that. And I
know,
don't care what you tell me, we can do it. All of that was a
I mean,
political stunt for people
for
that want to get
Hoco,
voted. Yeah.
Hoco to put it on
And it's
there.
wrong.
I started that back in 22. You guys mentioned in the memorandum.
Well,
this was
Yeah.
new. I started uploading them in 22 when I went to a training and found out by law I was supposed to.
Well,
feel like if we
I,
find out by law we need to do something and then we just avoid doing it,
No,
that's
No.
not really the way to, so I started, and I didn't
No
start
way.
correctly either. I didn't do it every month. I'd get sidetracked. I did it sporadically. And then finally I said, you know what? I am just going to focus and
And
make
it
sure,
costs-
because they're starting
and
to
it-
crack down.
And it
Yeah.
almost cost us a lot of money in this town because of that.
It did not.
Yes, it did. But there were account numbers on that
Right.
stuff you put in there, and it's wrong.
well, can I,
And the thing
can I
is, we
stop you?
discussed this on
Both you
April
stop,
30th.
both you stop. I'm gonna finish, because I did the research with North Shore Matt today. He can't find anything that was put on for 22. He looked today. I said, because I said, we had account numbers on our balance sheets in 22, the last 4. I said, so you need to check that and make sure they get taken
I
off.
looked too. I think they were removed, but I looked
And
back
he
in my
said,
emails.
he goes,
and
I
it's-
can't find anything that was put on in 22. He said the first ones were the ones that we talked about. Right
Right, I'll
now,
print my emails just to prove that I'm
Right.
not lying, that I was up.
I'm not saying you're lying. He checked. So if you took them off, that's great. So, because I was worried about that, because I looked in the packets of 19 and in the packets of 22, we still had the 4 digits, and the bank advised me not to put the 4 digits on. So I did check that, and we did still have them on there. The number 1 page that gets hit is the home page. Number 2 is the Millbrook Parks and Recreation. Number 3 is the police page. They're the number 1, 2, and 3 that get hit the most. He says there is no extra fee right now for it unless it takes up more time. And we get 1 hour a month at $65. If we need more time, then he would let us know, and he could probably work us out a deal. Because we have the maintenance fee we pay for an hour a month. We pay $65 a month to put this stuff on. So we've had over 14,000 people look at it. So before you vote to get rid of the website, I want you to, if you're gonna bring that up, John, I want you to think about it.
I have thought about it.
I know. you
Not
have.
not a thing has ever, no one has walked through that door or given us a letter that we have to do that. And, I'm not saying, they passed a law to do it. It was all political. Because people want votes. But they're not enforcing it. And there's many
Yeah.
towns that aren't doing it.
Oh, I can
Many,
speak
many
of
of them
many in
get upset.
Shenango County that aren't
And are
doing it.
not doing it. And there's no reason why we should. And I don't think that website's that important to me. Or to this town. You may have all those people, but still, I don't think we can jeopardize this town. It's just, I can't trust that things will be redacted. And we get in trouble.
If
Simple
we,
as that.
if we
Simple as
did
that.
get hacked on that, it could have been
I just don't think it's
devastating.
worth it. I don't think it's
It
worth
could
it.
have been really bad.
I
First of
think
all,
we-
they have all been redacted.
Right.
And if we are gonna discuss it openly, I'd like to say that in my memorandum, I went for point.
Yeah.
Those account numbers
Yeah.
were not on there.
But
The
yeah.
last four digits
Yeah.
were, the account numbers were not on there.
Well,
Let me finish my piece though,
yeah, go ahead.
okay? I'm not allowed to interrupt anyone.
Yep, okay.
They got placed on there. I didn't know. I'm not in control of setting up the reports, just printing them. And I don't read the financial reports number for number. I sometimes am just trying to get packets together, so I copied them. But if you really think about it, and the supervisor started adding the four digits to the resolutions.
Yeah, because I thought you
You
needed to know where the
guys-
money came from.
Anywhere from 3 to 5 of you, every single month that those were being uploaded or becoming public record, reviewed those records with your own eyes and approved them at an open public meeting, making them open public records.
Okay,
So
but I
it
think
passed
what you're
6
missing,
of us.
I think what
It
you're
passed
missing,
6 of us.
we didn't know.
Right. You never even consulted.
You never
us. You
told
went
the
to that
board
meeting
that you
and
were
just did
doing it.
And you went to the board.
We found it out totally by accident. If there was 6 of us looking at it, maybe somebody would have caught it. We didn't know they were getting publicized.
They've been being publicized since 22. I mean, I don't know a lot of things you guys do.
Well,
Well,
I don't know
I'm
about
just
everybody
following
else.
the law and putting them up because we have a website.
I don't know about everybody else, but I know that I was operating under the assumption that as you were the records person and you were uploading things to the website, that you were looking at them to make sure that they were appropriate to upload before uploading.
I never knew account numbers got added. They were not there until new money
But
markets were
then-
So we
to
just
me-
got hacked and had the
But
new
to-
money
but to
markets.
me,
That was when
still
they started
feels-
being put on there.
But to me, that still feels like something that you should have looked at all the documents to make sure that they were appropriate to upload before uploading them.
Right, and I'm
Lesson
gonna
learned.
agree that yes, if I knew they were there, I would have. When you guys have that packet, anybody could walk in this building and ask me for the board packet for such and such month. There is no redacting. It is public document. It was discussed in open public meeting.
Well, I asked the Office of the State Comptroller about that,
Mhm.
and she said that personal phone numbers, personal addresses, account numbers, definitely redact them, always.
Stupid that.
They shouldn't have been on there, and I agree, and I didn't realize
Well,
they were
there's,
placed on
there's
there.
plenty of documents that it's going to come on whether we ask for them to be or not. It's, our vigilance is to make sure that they're redacted before they're shown to the public. It's no different than, you know, I have to file that, whatever for the life insurance. I have to put my social security number on it. Well, that file can be foiled as part of personnel.
Your social
but you
security
can't-
number would need to be redacted.
Correct. You
Yeah.
can't give my social security number. It's
Yeah,
the
you
same
can't give
thing,
it.
is my
Yeah.
point.
Well, that's what I'm
The
saying.
same
Now
thing
there's
is
more
you
eyes watching. That's what,
You
the only
have books
part
at
is.
home of all these reports. If somebody broke into your home, they have every account number. Still, currently, right now, if they break into your home, they have every town account number.
Good luck getting into my safe.
I'm just saying, I'm sure that huge oversized book that I just bought you is not in a safe. And John's
You'd be
bag,
surprised.
John's bag, if someone broke into his house, all of those account numbers are there. So
We
it-
get what
it
you're saying,
can-
Debbie, we get it. It's
But the
just, we
thing is,
didn't
you
know if we
guys-
had more eyes on it.
Right,
It's
you
just
guys
a careless
tasked me on
mistake.
the 30th and I answered to it all.
We
Then
didn't
you
attack you.
decided to
We
do a
talked about it.
memorandum.
Because, Debbie,
It
because
was
we
already
didn't know.
discussed and done.
But they wanted a memorandum because we didn't know. That's what the memorandum's about. The
Consult
board
us.
stating
You
that
needed
we
to
did
consult
not know that you were doing this. We were, if there was more eyes on it, maybe somebody would have said, hey, wait a minute, if we're gonna start putting this, we gotta start being careful. There would have been more eyes. But you never told us that you started putting them on in January.
It's
I
been
didn't know.
I didn't start in January, I started 2 years ago.
Well, I only
It was
saw,
a conversation, and I started 2 years ago when I went to training and found out it was law.
well, like I told you, he couldn't find any records of them, so,
Then
because
they
I
got
told him
taken
he's gotta
down.
redact all the Ford numbers.
I went on and I did the
'cause
same thing,
I
and I
looked
saw
through
that
all
he didn't
that.
have them on there anymore. I assumed he took them
All
off
right,
at the
I
same
just
time you
don't
asked.
think we can take a chance, so I'm gonna make a motion that we end their website. That's my motion.
you're making that tonight. I thought we were gonna table this. Okay, let me find my notes. You wanna end the website?
Yep.
John,
Are you talking about townofneworleans.org?
yes.
Okay, can I say my 2 cents worth here?
Might as well, it's already
Might
10
as well.
o'clock.
I know,
We're gonna second
I'm
this
sorry.
discussion.
I'll watch
Okay, I need a
I'll watch the clock.
Okay, motion, John made a motion to not have a website, to remove our website.
There's no motion, it doesn't matter. It's like-
I need a second.
Last week I give it to you.
Yeah, me too.
But the only thing I'm thinking is, what will that do to our Millbrook account as far as booking?
Screw us.
That's what I thought.
Because
And
of
what will
the
it do
numbers.
for people who need information? This has happened to me twice in the last month. I refer them to the website, to the planning board stuff, because all of the town code is right there for them to look at. If you're gonna do a multi-sub, you go to chapter 21, and it's in the 3rd section. That's what you need to know when you're gonna do it. Or say, the guy that wanted the solar panels, I said, go on the town website and look under planning board, and you'll see the renewable energy law.
And I just, my opinion, I think we're gonna go backwards. This generation, that's all they use. is
Oh, that's all they use.
I was
It's
on,
a-
I was wanting to get rid of it.
I thought we were gonna have it gone tonight. I thought we had 3
But
votes that were gonna get it.
She
You
was
can't.
able to pull those
I need to
numbers.
bring
Like,
it
I
up.
talked to Matt today and I said, Matt, I need to know, because then I was talking about, well, maybe if we get rid of the town, like, should we do like just a Millbrook website, just a police website? They seem to be the most, and like maybe just a small town in the Berlin without all the
But
information.
we're hearing.
I tried, I made the motion, that's fine, I'll live with that.
Okay,
Really? I don't want I want the website. All I want is, there's nobody coming to that door to tell us how to do it. And we should only put the agenda and the minutes, and that's it.
well, we can't
Until they tell
change,
us.
we can't
So-
change
Can't take it
local
back.
law. So, and it is the law. Debbie has gotta follow the law. And
Nobody-
I mean,
enforcing
I,
it.
Well,
and I-
personally, I
Well, but-
think that it's, whether it was law or not, I think it should be available online anyways. Because it's all the information that's gonna be discussed, for the most part, 90% of what's gonna be discussed. And if I was just a member of the public and I couldn't come to a meeting, I would like to be able to see what my town is discussing.
And now that we're talking about changing the way we handle dog licenses and things
Yeah,
like that,
like,
that's
it's
gotta be
more
out there. People
information
gotta be
out
able to
there.
get that information.
You know, it's a little like the whole internet thing.
Yeah.
Once you let that dog out, you can't. put it
I
in.
know.
can't put them back in, because this one.
It's opening Pandora's box, and you have to be very careful.
That's why I've had a lot of supervisors at town tell me, that's why we're not ever having a website.
All right, so we're
Yeah,
not
but you
getting a
know,
second
that's
motion.
kind
No, we don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
It's withdrawn.
I
All
am,
right, I need
Motion
a,
to adjourn.
all right, Sarah, motion to adjourn,
Yep.
second,
My cousin called
April,
one day last week.
9:37.
She says to me, "Mom,
Sorry, Roy, next time.